Last night, your Xenia Scouts found a way to beat down the Southern Ohio Copperheads back home at Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. They won by a score of 6-1, and that only run was given up in the 9th inning. Aside from that, it was 8 perfect innings of baseball, and the first 3 innings of perfect baseball from starting pitcher John Crawford in his first start with the Scouts yesterday. Hi and welcome out to Ohio University here. I'm Lance Morris alongside my broadcast partner Terry Lash, bringing you live coverage of the Xenia Scouts every single game right here on our Google Plus and YouTube Hangout. Whether you found the link from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, thank you for making us a part of your day. Terry, what are we going to see today between the Copperheads and the Scouts?
Well, Lance, first we're going to see a battle between a 6-1 team, the top team in the league in your Xenia Scouts, and a 4-1 Ohio Copperheads team who came into the game yesterday with a 4-0 record, so the Scouts upended them, and they were tops in the league. So these are two teams that will probably be there at the end of July, early August, might be playing for a league title. So it should be an exciting battle to see, and back-to-back series, the Scouts will see one of the teams in the league in the sweep.
So Terry, as the Xenia Scouts come up to the plate, who are the first 3 batters for your Scouts?
Up for the Scouts will be Levi Gilchrist, the center fielder from Baylor, Lee Sullivan, the shortstop from Lipscomb University, and Kyle Carnahan, the third baseman from Washburn.
Gilchrist steps up to the plate for the first pitch of the game. First one just inside for ball number 1. First pitch time 7:29. Second pitch to Gilchrist. Swung at that one and missed. Evens up the count at 1-1.
On the mound today for the Copperheads will be Zach Brown.
The 1-1 Gilchrist. One will be low. Ball 2. Gilchrist went 2 for 4 yesterday. Has 2 stolen bases and 5 RBIs on the year. 2-1 pitch. That one will stay low. Puts it at 3-1.
Zach Brown from Mars Hill University. Yesterday, Copperheads had Jake Rudnick, who got roughed up a little bit.
The 3-1. Fouled back. That'll put it at 3-2. Full count.
So the very first at-bat of the game, Levi Gilchrist works his way all the way to a full count. Good job by Levi, working Brown early.
The 3-2 pitch. That one will be fouled back out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2.
And I see a couple fans over there getting lined up for some pictures with a mascot, getting a little more than they bargained for. So a foul ball was incoming.
The 3-2. Got him with the high fastball. It'll be the first strikeout of the game for Zach Brown.
So Levi Gilchrist goes down. That'll bring up Lee Sullivan. Sullivan yesterday went 2 for 5 with an RBI. Had a couple of runs scored and a stolen base.
First pitch to Solomon. He'll lay down the bunt and he'll get it down. But he will be just out by about a step over at first. So pretty good bunt there from Solomon. Just didn't have quite enough speed to get over there to first in time.
No, he did not land. So that was a 2-3 out right there. A great throw by Grant Rubel, who played right field yesterday. Normally the catcher here. Lee Salter got the start yesterday for the Copperheads.
First pitch to Kyle Carnahan. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Carnahan went over 3 yesterday. Puts his average down to 208, but he is one of 2 players on the squad to have a home run. The 0-1. Another swing and miss, puts it at 0-2.
And he was almost two of 2 players to have 2 home runs, but just missed barely foul in the game against the Settlers the other night.
The 0-2. Popped that one way up in the air. And Callery will get under that one for the 3rd out of the inning, so Scouts will go down 1-2-3 to start the game.
So 3 up, 3 down for the Scouts quickly. Says Levi Gilchrist, he got it to a full count, fouled off one after that, but Lee Solomon and Kyle Carnahan working quickly in the count and just swinging fast. Not much going on bat-wise in that first inning for the Scouts. Remember, they scored in the first inning yesterday back home at Grady's Field. That's going to set out the defense.
And now for the Scouts, for his first start of the year, we've seen him in quite a few outings. Then it will be Ben Aldridge. Has had a few innings pitched this year. Came in the first game, pitched 3 solid innings in relief of Quentin Q. McGrath. And we gave him the player of the game in that one. We talked to him afterwards, and he was very excited about the coming season. And since then, it's been a lot of good things for Ben, Terry.
Yeah, from Arkansas Monticello, Ben Aldridge came out of the pen all year long, so it's a guy that's not used to the starting role that he's getting thrown into tonight. For the Scouts are still looking to find maybe some new pieces in the back part of that rotation. We thought we were going to see with Seth Hallmark and Dylan Donnelly, but Ben Aldridge being thrown into the mix. Definitely first 3 we've seen solidly starting with Hugh McGrath, Will Cruz, and now John Crawford, who did it very well yesterday in his first start. But it's that 4 and 5 pitchers. I think Coach Bubba Case is just going to work around other guys a little bit, see who fits.
This will be the first start of the game for a nickname I thought up before the game, Tupelo Thunder, as he's from Tupelo, Mississippi, and he isn't shy about telling us that. It comes up in conversations whenever he can bring it up.
Proud Southerner, Ben Aldridge, one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. A lot of times his family's listening at home, so if you're listening at home right now, the Aldridge family, I said, thank you for your son, and hopefully Tupelo Thunder will strike tonight.
So, Terry, bottom of the first inning for the Copperheads. Who do they have coming up?
Up for the Copperheads will be Jason Sukanik, who did not play yesterday. He was in left field from Xavier University. Graham Rubel, the catcher, that made the nice play in the top of the first inning from Georgia Tech. And Brett Impemba, the first baseman from Oakland University in Michigan.
First pitch to Sukanik. Upstairs, ball number 1. First pitch from Aldridge in his first start with the Scouts. And, of course, Ben working quickly, the 1-0. Caught the outside corner, strike number 1.
And that's the greatest thing about a Ben Aldridge pitch game. It will go very, very quickly.
The 1-1. Fouled back towards the Scouts' dugout, puts it to 1-2.
Not just because he works so quickly, and he does work quicker than any other pitcher I've seen in my entire life, Lance, but because he throws a lot of strikes, he gives it up to the batters on play, says, hey, you think you can hit it, go for it. He's going to get a lot of strikes and a lot of balls in play.
The 1-2. That one just misses, evens it up at 2-2.
And we're situated a little left of home play this time. We're usually right dead center on Grady's Field. A little more difficult to see balls and strikes from this vantage point.
The 2-2. He'll miss low again, puts it to 3-2 full count.
So both the first batters to start off the games for their respective teams have worked to a full count. Levi Gilcrease and now Jason Zucanic.
The 3-2. Fouls that one back. We'll do it again at 3-2.
And then both of them immediately foul the next pitch. So a bit of deja vu here in the bottom of the first inning, Lance. Zucanic is one of 3 new starters in this Copperhead starting lineup.
And fouled that one just out of the batter's box. So once again, we'll do it at 3-2.
Zucanic, the left fielder from Xavier. He's new. Tony Giannini, third baseman from Ohio University, did not start yesterday. And neither did David Doberty, who's in the last spot of the lineup, center fielder from Western Illinois.
And 3-2. Swung on and missed, and Ben will get his first strikeout of the game.
Now batting for the Copperheads, the catcher from Georgia Tech, number 12, Grant Rubel.
Grant Rubel now coming up to the plate. Went 2 for 4 yesterday and is the only player on the Copperheads to have a home run so far this season. First pitch to him. He'll hit that one on the ground towards Solomon at shortstop. And he took a little too long over there, so Rubel will be safe at first on an infield hit.
Yeah, it looked like Solomon mishandled that one in his glove a bit. It was a small grounder. It took a long time to get to Solomon to charge it, but he picked it up and kind of hesitated before he threw. And that hesitation is the reason why Rubel is over there at first base.
Now Brenton Pemba coming up to the plate. He was 0 for 3 in last night's contest. First pitch to Pemba. Breaking pitch. That one's going to get into the gap for a base hit. Rubel will round second. He'll head for third, and Pemba will head for second. We're going to be sending Rubel home, and he's going to get there in plenty of time to score the game's first run.
So just like that, the Copperheads strike and get on the board first. That was a nice hit by Pemba, finding that gap in left center field. Went all the way back to the wall.
Now heading for the Copperheads, the third baseman from Ohio, number 14, Tony Giannini.
So Tony Giannini up to the plate. He did not play in last night's contest, but comes into the day with a 400 average.
One of 5 Copperheads in the starting nine that have a 400 or above average. Absolutely remarkable.
And Pemba gets his lead off of second. First pitch. In there for strike one. Aldridge looks at him, Pemba over at second. He's trying to fake him out. Time is now called.
Zach Wiley behind the plate today for the Scouts. It was David Gone yesterday. They've been switching on and off recently.
The 0-1. Upstairs kind of looked a little bit like a waste pitch just to see if Mpemba would be on the move.
Yeah, I think they might try to pitch out a little bit. It was to the inside as well, so Wiley could step into a throw to third. I think that's exactly what Aldridge wanted to do.
He'll make a move over there, steps off.
Don't know about the wheels of Mpemba, but definitely on the mind of Ben Aldridge right now.
And the 1-1. Just a tad high for ball two.
Scouts never trailed at any point during the game yesterday. Already down 1-0 here.
Aldridge has definitely slowed down a little bit, especially with men on base. And the 2-1. Way upstairs, ball three makes it 3-1.
You have to wonder if that has to do with him starting this game. Lance usually we see him in relief. Just comes out there around 6th, 7th inning and then just is throwing those fireballs, trying to get him down quickly. Maybe thinking of fatigue, won't be able to work as fast coming from a starting role if he wants to go deep.
The 3-1. Up high, walked him. So that puts runners on first and second. It'll be Tyler Pagano coming to the plate.
That'll be the third walk of the year for Aldridge. 37th for the Scouts. That does set up a double play ball. Aldridge could use one to get out of this inning here.
First pitch to Pagano. Caught the outside corner, strike one.
Gon's the right fielder from Oakland University, Michigan. A couple of Oakland Bears on this team, and batting 176 here in the young season.
The 0-1. That one's lined to Aldridge at the mound. He'll go over to second for one. And he'll be safe at first on the throw from Solomon. Looks like he might have been impeded by the base runner, so they'll only get one out, and they'll have runners at the corners.
Yeah, good slap by Giannini to break up the play there. It looked like it had a good shot at the 1-6-3, but just get the man at second and runners on the corners.
So when Pemba gets over to third, Pagano will be safe at first on the fielder's choice. That would be Chris Osborne coming to the plate. He'll be the DH tonight. First pitch to him. A little high and outside, ball one.
Osborne from Southeast Missouri State, one of multiple Southeast Missouri State players on this Copperhead team, batting .455 for the year.
Time will be called. The 1-0 as they'll have a guy on the move, but it'll be fouled back, so he'll have to go back to first.
So we see Tyler Pagano is ready to swipe the base with 2 outs here. Could be a risky call if Zach Wiley throws him out. The runner at third will be stranded.
Now Wiley will make another first and third call after seeing him on the move. You got to wonder if Wiley might just try and throw him out, as like you said, there is 2 down.
Yeah, that'd be a great way to end the inning for the Scouts.
Aldridge will check on Pagano over at first. He'll be in there safely.
Wyatt Hogan getting the start at first base today. Usually occupied by Lincoln Reed. Wyatt was in left field. He's played DH, first base, and left on the season.
1-1, Pagano on the move again as that one's popped up in the air out to left. And Bravo will get under that one to end the inning, but not before the Copperheads get their first run of the game on the board. They lead 1-0 after 1.
Good job from the Scouts to come back and limit the damage. Only giving up 1 run there. Had runners on third base, had runners on first and second. So I think it could have been a lot worse than the score indicates at this point. 3 hits given up by Ben Aldridge. Also had a walk in his first inning of work, in his first game as a starter for the Xenia Scouts. A couple of other games going right now along the Great Lakes League. Try to give you scores throughout the contest. Actually tonight, Licking County Sellers and Lima Locals will play their 3rd game in a row. They had a doubleheader yesterday. Cincinnati Steam are up 2-1 over the Lake Erie Monarchs. In the bottom of the 2nd, Hamilton Joe is getting up early on the Northern Ohio Baseball Club. They're up 5-0. That's in the top of the 3rd. The Lorain County Ironmen and the Valiant Graders are supposed to be in action today. We have no results from that one so far. So if we have any updates from those games, and especially the Ironman Graders contest, we'll let you know throughout the broadcast.
Getting set to start the 2nd inning of work here on the campus of Ohio University. Scouts will be coming up to bat in this top half of the 2nd. And Terry, who do the Scouts have coming to the plate?
However, the Scouts will be the 4, 5, 6 batters. David Gaunt, a designated hitter from Washburn University, went 3 for 4 yesterday with a double, was our player of the game. Wyatt Hogan, the first baseman from Hendrix College. Jonathan Bravo, the left fielder from Texas Wesleyan, who's coming off that ankle injury, missed the last couple of games, and we just saw him make that catch in left field.
So we get to see Bravo at the plate for the first time since the game on Tuesday against the Settlers. He was in an ankle brace most of the week, and when we got to discipleship today, he said, "Hey guys, my ankle's all healed. I'm ready to go."
And it's great to see Jonathan with one of the best batting averages on the season at batting .313.
David Gaunt now up to the plate. His first pitch to him. He'll let it go outside for ball number 1.
And Zach Brown, the pitcher here for the Coppers, only 5'11", the lefty.
Now when we fouled back out of play, evens it up at 1-1.
This is his only 2nd appearance of the year. He has 2 innings pitched, no hits given up.
The 1-1 to Gaunt. And that one's gone. No ifs, ands, or buts. David Gaunt, home run. 3rd one of the year, and that one, you could tell right off the bat, that one was gone. 3rd one of the year, David Gaunt.
And what an answer, Lance. That's one way to go about a 1-0 deficit. Just send David Gaunt back up there. The league leader in RBIs gets his 3rd home run of the season. David Gaunt, one of the best players on this Scouts team. He actually was going to be drafted by the Texas Rangers, turned it down, and stayed with the Scouts. He wanted to have his senior year at Washburn University with what he calls a great group of Christian guys. And congratulations to David on that homer.
First pitch now to Wyatt Hogan, low for a ball number 1. So that'll tie the game up at 1 apiece after the solo shot from Gaunt. Hogan will pop that one up. Looks like that'll get out of play, and it will. So I'll leave the count up at 1-1.
Great chase by Tempo, though. I thought he was going to try to dive over the wall to get towards that one.
So 1-1 the count to Wyatt Hogan playing first base tonight. The 1-1. Up high, ball 2.
Another impressive note about that home run from Gaunt. Left field goes about 340 here. Left center around 380. So I'd say that one was around 360 out. I don't know how much farther it went after that.
The 2-1 to Hogan. Just above the belt, ball 3. And I guess Gaunt just wants to hit home runs in big parks, as it's 340 down the lines here, and it was 330 something at Lima where he hit 2 home runs last week. 3-1 to Hogan. He'll pop that one up way high in the infield. And Pemba will get over to that one for the first out of the inning.
Fly Hogan struggling a little bit recently, went 0-4 yesterday. Fly's out his first at bat of the game, and back to David Gaunt. We're probably going to be playing the biggest park of the stadium tonight, Wren Field, probably the biggest in the Great Lakes League, so big home run for David.
First pitch to Bravo, so on a miss for strike number 1. Another swing and a miss from Bravo makes it 0-2, and this, like we said, his first game since Tuesday against the Settlers.
Another injury notes, Austin Orr sitting for his 3rd straight game with a shoulder injury.
The 0-2 to Bravo, he'll file that one back, so we'll do it again at 0-2. And a little bit like Grady's Field here, a big backstop won't play any factor now, but once guys get on, could have an issue and some guys getting other bases. 0-2 to Bravo, and they'll throw the curveball and get him swinging, so he goes down on strikes for the second out of the top half of the second.
So second strike of the game for Zach Brown, and he's come back with great composure after giving out that monster shot from David Gaunt, getting out the next 2 batters in succession. And this is a big stadium field, as you mentioned, Lansing is the home of the Ohio Bobcats.
First pitch to Christian Binger right there for strike number 1. Binger went 2 for 4 yesterday, had himself another good game. The 0-1. Caught the outside corner, strike 2, quickly 0-2.
I know Christian Binger likes to take pitches. He leads the team in walks, and Zach Brown just threw him across the plate early in this one.
The 0-2 to Binger. He'll hit that one up in the air towards shortstop. And Williams will get onto that one for out number 3, but that's not before the Scouts tie the game off a crazy solo shot from Gaunt. That one, like you said, went far, 340 down each line. And that one probably went at least 360, as that one went over the trees in left field.
Next that one might still be going, so we'll be able to track it until it finally falls down. But David Gaunt just continues his torrid start to this Great Lakes Summer College of the League season. He's been outstanding.
So now Ben Aldridge coming back out for a second inning of work. Gave up 1 run in last time out in the first inning. We'll see what he has to offer here in the second inning, but Terry, who's he going to be facing?
Coming out for the side for the Copperheads will be Ted Williams, the shortstop from Millersville University. Then Connor Callery, the second baseman from right here in Athens, Ohio. He's an Ohio Bobcat. And then the last of the order will be David Dobrenick, center fielder from Western Illinois. And we're at the bottom of the lineup here for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Been up an overcast day here, but the stands are still filling up here in Athens, Ohio. Got a decent crowd here to watch Copperheads and Scouts in action.
Yeah, our coaches said this would probably be one of the more filled venues in the league. Nice accommodations here at Wren Field. So Ted Williams coming up to the plate for the Copperheads. Played third base yesterday. He's playing shortstop today. First pitch to him. And there for a called strike 1.
Yeah, Ted Williams coming in the game batting .455. He came in yesterday batting .500. He's had a great start this season.
The 0-1's down in the dirt, evens up at 1-1. Now the 1-1. Just a bit outside, puts it to 2-1.
Thank you for everyone following our live tweeting of this game and every game.
The 2-1. Fouled back, that'll even it up at 2-2.
Keep up with the Scouts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website, XeniaScouts.com, where we have nightly recaps.
And now the 2-2. That one hit back over the middle. Ben tried to get to that one, but he can't. Christian Binger will field that one up and get it over to Hogan at first in time for out number 1.
A good job by Christian Binger. He really ranged on that one, and he was pretty close to directly behind second base before he got in front of it. Nice throw to wide over there at first. So good movement off the hit of the ball by Binger.
Now Connor Callery up to the plate. Went 1 for 4 last night. Moved up one spot in the order. He hit 9th last night. First pitch to him in there for strike number 1.
Callery batting .500 on the season.
The 0-1. Swung at that high fastball. Quickly 0-2.
And that's like Ben Aldridge is moving now.
Now the 0-2. And that one just got past Kyle Carnahan at third. Tried to dive for that one, but couldn't quite get his glove on that one. So nice ball placement there from Callery for the single.
And at the bottom of the first inning, it was the first batter getting out for the Copperheads, and then a single, and then a double. Got them to their 1 score on the board here. Hopefully, Aldridge avoids that same fate against David Dobrinick.
So now Dobrinick coming up to the plate. I think center field tonight. Did not play last night. As there's a little sprinkle coming down here. First pitch to him outside, ball 1.
We're not at Grady's Field, so Brand has a lot more of an impact here in Athens, Ohio. No longer on the field turf.
Now the 1-0. Chopped back over to Carnahan at third. He'll have to go over to first for the out, and he will get the out, but that will advance Callery over to second now with 2 down.
I'll bring Jason Suganik back up. He was struck out by Aldridge. First time a lone strikeout of the game for Ben.
Now Jason Suganik up to the plate for the second time today. Struck out in his first at bat, like Terry mentioned.
It's only a light drizzle coming down right now. Definitely able to play through. We'll keep you updated as the rain progresses.
First pitch to Suganik. Outside, ball 1.
Looks like the curve broke way too far on that one.
Aldridge looks over at second. The 1-0. Just caught the outside corner, evens it up at 1-1.
Beautiful backdrop here in Athens as you see all the dorms of Ohio University in the background.
Now the 1-1. Just a bit inside, puts it to 2-1.
Suganik, one of a few players from Xavier University. Teammates of Scouts pitcher Thomas Wanning is also from Xavier. Thomas not going to be able to come out of the pen tonight.
The 2-1 from Aldridge. Fouls that one back, evens it up at 2-2.
Aldridge would love to get his second strikeout of the game to get out of this second inning. The lights come on here in Athens at Bob Run Stadium.
Aldridge will come to his set. He'll look over at Callery at second. And the 2-2. Just missed that one a tad high. Puts it to 3-2. Another full count for Suganik.
Really, Suganik, he got a full count the first time. Hit a couple foul balls after that, so really working, Ben, getting the most out of all of his pitches.
Now call time. Riley wants to have a quick chat with Ben out on the mound.
And Ben said it before, he's not a guy that likes to talk a lot of strategy, he just likes to throw it. He likes to throw it right down the middle and tries to beat him with that heater.
Just like Rube said in Major League 2, I'm not thinking nothing. I just throw it. The 3-2. That one's going to foul out of play, so we'll do it again at 3-2. Do you like my Major League 2 reference, Terry?
Gotta give him the game every once in a while, Lance.
Calorie over at second. Neither of the Scouts holding him on. And the 3-2. And he will walk him, so that will extend this inning at least a little bit more, and that will put guys on first and second with 2 down.
That's the second walk of the game for them. It's fourth of the season.
Rule.
The Scouts total of 38.
Grant Rubel now will come up to the plate. He had an infield hit in his last time. Hit that one over to Solomon at shortstop. First pitch to him. Caught the outside corner, strike one. Now the 0-1. Just missing on that one, evens it up at 1-1.
D1 talent in this Copperhead starting lineup. We might have a ball change here. Maybe that one got a little too wet due to the rain.
A little bit of sprinkles still coming down. Doesn't seem to be too hard. You have to look really hard to even see it. So now the 1-1. In there, strike number 2, puts it to 1-2.
Again, thank you everyone listening to the live web stream right now. Sorry for technical difficulties last night. We'll try to get you every Scouts game this summer.
Now the 1-2. A miss outside, evens up 2-2.
Now I'll just try to get Rubel to chase that one outside, but good eye by Grant, not going after it.
And now the 2-2. That one's lined up the middle for a base hit. And they're not even going to try running on Levi Gilcrease. He's thrown a couple people out from that center field spot, so maybe the Copperheads have seen a little clip of it.
Yeah, Lance, I'm incredibly disappointed. I thought we were going to have another opportunity to see the absolute rocket of Levi Gilcrease, but third base coach over there goes right away. You're going to want to stay here because he would have been gunned out at home plate by a mile.
And something Levi said when we interviewed him earlier this week, when we made him player of the game, he said he was hoping that the guy was running just so we could throw him out, and he got his wish on that night. Wasn't able to get that wish here in the second inning.
And I quote, "It's fun for me." So you know Levi Gilcrease loves the opportunity.
Now Mpemba up to the plate with the bases loaded. First pitch to him in there, strike one. He, of course, had an RBI double in his last at-bat. Now the 0-1. That one will be in the dirt, evens it up at 1-1.
So 4 hits and 2 walks given up here. Ben Aldrich, the bottom of the second inning. There's one more to get out of it.
Now the 1-1. And that one will get past Christian Binger at second, and that will score 1 run. They're going to try and bring home another, but Miles Wright guns him down from right field, just like he was able to gun down a guy at second last night. Guns a guy down from right field to prevent another run from scoring. So Copperheads get 1 and take the lead, but they will not get that other run that they so probably desperately wanted.
And I don't know if the third base coach was thinking over there. He did a great job last time holding him back to leave like Gilcrease in center field. Miles right through that, and it was even close. He was out around 3/4 length towards home plate. When Zach Wiley caught that one, he just walked towards him, accepted his tag because there's nothing else to do. Great throw by Miles Wright, but very questionable decision to send home Buchanan on that one.
So that will allow the Copperheads to take the lead after 2 innings of play. They lead 2-1. They've got 4 hits on the board to the Scouts 1, but that one was a solo shot from David Gaunt. So now, Terry, who do the Scouts have coming to play in the top of the third?
Coming out for the Scouts here in the top of the third inning will be Zach Wiley, the catcher. He's batting 250 on the year from Union University. Miles Wright, who we just saw make that nice throw, batting 238 on the year. Right fielder from St. Edward's University. And then we're back to the top of the lineup with Levi Gilcrease, who struck out his first time, the center fielder from Baylor.
Julie Gagarin. Good. All right, and the students take it, folks. 2-0. Thank you guys so much.
Now Zach Brown will get ready for his third inning of work. Aside from allowing Gaunt to hit a solo shot, he's done pretty well on the mound so far. Now Zach Wiley coming up to the plate. Terry, we mentioned this last night. It was a real talking point how he had his mustache. He brought that one out, and he's since shaved it already.
He went 2 for 4 yesterday. He said if they had a bad game, he would take it off, but he had a great game and he took it off anyway. And we're all very disappointed. Had a whole lot going on with that mustache, and I hate to see it go, Lance.
First one to Wiley, misses for ball one. Now the 1-0. He'll hit that one over to Williams at shortstop. And they'll get it over to first in time for out number one.
So it's been a flawless game for Zach Brown outside of that one giant home run. Give it to David Gaunt.
So Miles Wright will come up to the plate after he saved a run from scoring on a great throw from right field. Was there in plenty of time to get that final out of the bottom of the second. First pitch to him. Swung on and missed.
And we usually give Miles a hard time because he lives with us back of our host family, that he's always bunting on the first pitches. This time we see him take a big swing at it.
That might just be a signal to us that he doesn't bunt all the time, but the 0-1 upstairs, ball one. Because we say, Miles, well, if you want to say you get a swing all the time, then don't go up there bunting every time up.
He does have some speed. He has a bunt single on the year.
1-1 in there for strike two, makes it 1-2 on Miles. He does have Spidey, that is still at our place. We'll see if he can get it again after that nice throw from right. The 1-2 just misses, 2-2.
Good job by Miles checking on that one. You can tell he wanted to swing, saw a little bit of wrist movement that held back.
And now the 2-2. That one's low. That'll put the count at 3-2, a full count.
The second full count the Scouts have seen this game. Levi Gilcrease, who's on deck, had one to start off for the Scouts back in the first inning.
And now the 3-2. And he'll hit that one right at Giannini at third. And he'll be out at first, but not for lack of trying. He definitely had a nice swing on that one, just hit it right at Giannini at third.
Yeah, a nice pop to the hot corner, but Giannini did a great job digging that one out of the soft soil and throws it over to first base.
Levi Gilcrease now up to the plate. The Baylor product, his brother, who coaches at USF, will be here, I think, tomorrow. First pitch to him low for ball one. He coached his friend Kevin, who was with the Scouts briefly, has since returned back home after he was battling a lot of nagging injuries. 1-0 also in the dirt, puts it at 2-0.
Gilcrease, older of the two. Gilcrease is a former Scout himself, so it's going to be a great addition to the club.
So now the 2-0. And that one's hit well towards the outfield. But that will be caught by Dobrnik for the final out of the inning. So Scouts go down 1-2-3 to start off the third.
I said it to start off the inning. If it wasn't for that one big home run given up by Zach Brown, he's pitched a perfect game so far. Just sitting down for the Scouts, only faced 10 batters through 3 innings. They just haven't been able to get a good read on him.
Now Ben Aldridge going out there for another inning of work. has given up 5 hits thus far, along with 2 runs, one in the first, one in the second. So we'll see what he gets this time around. But Terry, who is he going to be going up against from the Copperheads?
For the Copperheads, we're starting with the cleanup man, Tony Giannini, who walked last time up, and was thrown out a second on the fielder's choice, and then Tyler Pagano, the right fielder from Oakland University, he the one that hit it to that fielder's choice, and then Chris Osborne, the designated hitter from Southeastern Missouri State. So the 4-5-6 coming up for the Copperheads, and after only 2 innings of play, Copperheads have already left 4 men on. You know that they'll be thinking about that in the back of the head.
And now before the inning is even ready to go, Ben looked like he was going to be ready to go for a second, but then took his glove off and relaxed for a few seconds.
The hitter right above his face comes right towards his eyes. You can just see a little bit of the eye zone right between his hat and his mitts. Very menacing presence on the mound. Always rearing and ready to go with Tupelo Thunder.
First pitch, side ball number 1 to Tony Giannini, who made a nice play over at third on a hard hit ball from Miles Wright. Now the 1-0. Low and outside, but caught the outside corner for strike 1.
Giannini is 1 of 2 Bobcats in the starting 9, and they actually won the MAC championship and advanced to regionals, so a great year for the Bobcats.
1-1 low and away, ball 2. It's 2-1 the count on Giannini. So now the 2-1. That one just caught the outside corner for a strike. Puts it to 1-2.
Ben does have a strikeout in the game. He struck out the very first batter.
1-2. That one's popped out of play, so we'll do it again at 1-2.
A very animated crowd whenever you hear a foul ball. There's a lot of places for kids to play in mezzanine zones. We got to make sure keeping their heads up on all those fly balls.
And now the 1-2. That one's popped way up. That'll drift into foul territory. And Wyatt Hogan will get under that one for out number 1. So Tyler Pagano will come up to the plate. Get into a fielder's choice his last time up and was stranded.
Pagano, one of the few players on the team that was struggling batting average-wise coming into this contest, batting 176, before today's game.
First pitch to him. Catches the outside corner, strike 1.
Remember, tomorrow the Scouts will be in Cincinnati taking on the Steam. That game will be at 7:05.
The 0-1 in the dirt, ball 1. Now the 1-1. That one's popped way up, but that one looks like it will drift out of play, and it will. Puts it to 1-2. So Ben seems to be going fast when there's no one on, and then when there's guys on, he tends to slow down a little bit, make sure they don't take advantage on the base pass. Now the 1-2. Checked his swing. Didn't go around, says the field umpire, so we'll do it again at 2-2.
That was close, but I did think Pagano was able to hold up on that one.
And now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. That'll be the second strikeout of the game for Tupelo Thunder.
Now Ben has 2 strikeouts, a couple of walks,
Now ready for Copperheads.
5 hits given up, and
From Southwest Missouri State, number 6, Chris Osborne.
Chris Osborne will come to the plate. He flew out to Bravo out and left to end the opening inning. First pitch to him. In there for strike 1. Now the 0-1. Upstairs, ball 1.
You're absolutely right. Lancey is definitely working a lot faster now. Now there's no one on the base pass than we saw earlier in the game.
And now the 1-1. I'm going to be up high again. Puts it to 2-1. Two-one pitch. Thought about swinging, but wasn't able to pull the trigger in time. Puts the count at 2-2.
Osborne came into this game batting .455. Flew out his first time, so lower that average down a bit.
2-2, swing and a miss. And another strikeout. 4-2 below, it's under. That'll be his third of the game.
So there in that third inning, it looks like Ben was on much more control. He sat down the side, got a couple of strikeouts. That's more the Ben Aldridge that we've been used to this season, Lance.
This is our first time getting a chance to see Ben start, and he's done fairly well in his first couple innings of work. Has allowed 5 hits, has allowed 2 runs as well, but seemed to settle down in that third inning.
He came into the game with a .245 average, absolutely fantastic out of the pen. And they've called on him a lot of times. At 3 appearances, has 7 1/3 innings pitched, one of the most reliable relievers for this team. Him and Joey Levis have been battling back and forth for that title. But now he gets to start, giving up a couple of runs and a handful of hits, but still only a 2-1 game. So the Scouts right here in strike position.
So we'll have to see tomorrow who will get the start for the Scouts. Coming in today, we thought it would be Seth Hallmark, but then he was called on to warm up just in case things went south last night. So don't know if that means he'll get the start tomorrow or if the ball will go to Dylan Donnelly.
Yeah, not sure. And we have some scoring updates for games. And actually, right now, only 2 games having scoring updates. First one is in the top of the 5th as the Cincinnati Steeds, the 30th fielder, beating the Lake Erie Monarchs, should have won. The Monarchs got their first win of the season yesterday. And the bottom of the 5th, the Hamilton Joes are up 6-2 on the Northern Ohio Baseball Club.
So top of the 4th inning now. And Terry, who do we have coming up for the Scouts?
Coming out for the Scouts in the top of the 4th, we're going to start off with Lee Solomon, the shortstop, who tried to bunt on this first time, and then Kyle Carnahan, the third baseman, and David Gaunt, the designated hitter, who hit that dinger.
First pitch low for ball 1 to Solomon, the 1-0. And he hit that one on a rope right between shortstop and third for a base hit. Go around first and head back to first after that single.
And Solomon came into this game with the leading batting average on the team at .364. He's going to improve it there. Now we've seen it. He tried to bunt on it, was thrown out, but does have a lot of speed. So from second to third yesterday. A new catcher behind the plate today for the Copperheads. It is going to be Grant Rubel, and yesterday it was Salter, but still think there's a good shot. At least someone could try to swipe second.
So Kyle Carnahan now up to the plate for the Scouts. First pitch to him, and that one's high up in the air, but that one's going to stay in the ballpark. And Sukanik will get under that one for the first out of the inning, and I think if he just didn't get quite as underneath that one might have been over the fence too.
It's a similar pop to Gaunt's home run, but way too far under and just high in the sky before it finally fell back down to earth for the out.
So now David Gaunt will be back up to the plate, like we mentioned. Hit a home run in his first at-bat of the game to lead off the second inning. And they'll check on Solomon over at first. Like we mentioned, his threat to steal. And Miles Wright told us this morning when we were at the Y that Solomon's only 18 years old.
Unbelievable.
Solomon's on the move on that one, and he'll be in there with a little bit of time to spare. I think they're going to say that they almost had him, but found a way to get to that one safely.
And that situation was what we saw against the Sellers in Solomon's very first game. Went to second, trying to advance with good base running, and then slid off of the base because he was just going too fast. Almost did that right there, but was able to get maybe that big toe on there still.
So 1-0 to Gaunt. Next one to him. Took a big cut at that one and missed. Evens it up at 1-1.
Solomon didn't play much this year his freshman season at Lipscomb University. Only got 4 at-bats and 1 for 4 on the season. The team went very well. That's why he came so late to the Scouts.
The 1-1, Solomon's on the move again. And he's in there safely, so second steal in 2 attempts today for Solomon.
And 3 steals on the series for Lee, as he got that 1 from second, third again yesterday. So that's 2 straight days he stole from second to third. Absolutely incredible. So now Don just has to fly one deep, and it will score him on a sac fly.
2 on the count now to Gaunt. And the 2-1 pitch. That one broke just over the plate. That'll leave it up in 2-2. Now the 2-2. He'll line that one just past the shortstop of Williams. He'll get another RBI, his second of the game. That will tie this one up at 2 apiece. So both runs coming off the bat of David Gaunt.
And David Gaunt has been tearing it up in this series. And he struggled a little bit against the Settlers, who's batting .500 before that series against Licking County. After yesterday, he's coming in this game batting .345. Already has 2 RBIs with a single and a homer.
So now Wyatt Hogan up to the plate. Flew out in his last at-bat. First pitch to him. And they'll try a pitch out, and that will go over the head of the catcher, so Gaunt will easily advance to second. I would assume they rule that one a wild pitch.
I think Lee Solomon wasn't on base. He might have stole away from first to home on that one.
And unlike the typical catcher, Gaunt has a little bit of speed to him. He can play the outfield if need be, and that will draw a meeting on the mound.
First time we've seen a little bit of struggles from Zach Brown. He had that 1 home run, like we said, gave out to Gaunt, but so far here in the top of the 4th, it's given it that leadoff single to Solomon, which was hit very hard, and then gave up a couple stolen bases. Even that fly out to left field of Kyle Carnahan, he got a big chunk of that baseball and just hung up in the sky. Maybe had a little bit of wind to play with it, keeping it up there, but it was definitely another ball that was hung up there, and then David Gaunt with that single getting past the infield. So we've seen a little bit of struggles here in the top of the 4th inning for Zach Brown.
And last night after the game, we talked to David a little more as we got our food, and there were a couple things he said. Was one, he was happy to get over the just having 2 hits in a game hump when he got his 3rd hit yesterday, so he was very thrilled about that. And we also told him he was, of course, the second time player of the game, second time he won player of the game. He won it when we had the game out in Lima, but took a little too long getting up to the press box, so we had to cut our broadcast off right before we could get up there and interview him. But he said he was going for a 3-time player of the game, and it's still early on, but I think he's the leading candidate thus far.
Definitely has quite a case, Lance.
So play will resume now. Count 1-0 to Wyatt Hogan. Gaunt over on second. The 1-0. That one high and away. Puts it at 2-0.
Wyatt Hogan trying to end his slump. He's been out 5 times in a row.
And now the 2-0. That one a little inside. Puts it to 3-0.
Coach Nichols just had that meeting with Brown, and he comes out and throws 3 straight balls, so you know Hogan's going to be taking, at least on this first pitch, probably the second pitch as well.
And the 3-0. That one's in the dirt, so they'll walk Hogan on 4 straight pitches.
That'll be the first walk of the game for Zach Brown. Mentioned earlier in the broadcast, only had 2 innings pitched on the year coming into this game. Mars Hill University don't know how much longer he's going to be able to go in this one.
So Bravler now will come up to the plate for his second time. He struck out in his first plate appearance in the 2nd inning. Now the runners first and second with 1 down. First pitch to him. Just a tad high, ball 1. So Gaunt over on second, Hogan over on first. 1 down, top of the 4th. The 1-0. That one's lined back foul. Evens it up at 1-1.
Scouts still can do some damage here in the top of the 4th inning. Orling with one run across. Try to take the lead for the first time.
Now the 1-1. Now it's hit high up in the air. I think they should rule that one infield fly, and they will. So Bravo out on that one. And that will bring Christian Binger up to the plate.
Done his first game back after sending a couple of bum ankle. Jonathan Bravo 0 for 2 to start his day.
Now Christian Binger coming up to the plate. He flew out in his last at bat. And they'll look over at Gaunt on second. No one holding him on, so Brown will turn around and look at him, make sure he's not getting too far off the base.
Binger goes to Southwest Baptist University of Texas, but originally from Kansas City, Missouri.
First pitch to him, low and away, ball 1.
We have seen one wild pitch this inning from Brown. Good job by Rubel that time keeping that one from bouncing out of the dirt.
Now the 1-0. That one's hit back up the middle over to Calorie at second. He tries to go over to second for the out and just got that one in time. So that'll be the third out of the inning, but not before the Scouts tie this ball game up at 2 apiece off of the bat of David Gaunt for his second RBI of the game.
Lance, that one was really close to second base right there. I thought Wyatt might have been able to get there in time. If he would have got maybe a little bit more of a step off of first base or on the hit, I think he would have definitely been safe. Interesting decision by Calorie to go to second instead of first.
So that will once again tie this ball game up 2 apiece. Solomon led off that inning with a hit and then stole second. Then went right ahead and stole third, and David Gaunt drove him in with an RBI single. And that's where the game stands at 2 apiece after the top half of the 4th.
Quick scoring updates now in the bottom 5th of that game. The Steam still lead the Monarchs by a score of 2-1. The Joes have put on another run on Foundation Field and now lead the Northern Ohio Baseball Club by a score of 7-2. And those are only 2 other games in action.
Settleson, Ben Aldridge back out for another inning of work. He definitely seemed to settle down in that 3rd inning as he got them to go down 1-2-3.
Now batting the Copperheads, the shortstop from Millersville, number 1, Ted Williams.
Ted Williams coming up to the plate, but Terry, who's going to be batting after him for the Copperheads?
For the Copperheads, coming up will be Ted Williams, as you just mentioned. Lance Connor Calorie.
Now will be laid down for a bunt. Ben Aldridge will field that one. He'll be safe over at first. I think that one will be ruled a bunt as an infield hit. So he'll have one on first with nobody down.
Great bunt let down by Williams. Clearly has a lot of speed. Someone that Zach Wiley's have to watch. He might try to take a base here. Now coming out will be Connor Calorie, the second baseman. He singled in his first appearance. And then David Dobrnik, the center fielder.
Aldridge will check over at first. He'll throw it back, but not in time on the throw. Aldridge will check on him again. Still in there safely.
Ben came into this game with 7 strikeouts. That's 3 tonight. So that will now lead the team, suppressing Will Cruz.
Still no count yet on the batter. They'll check on him once again. Still in there safely.
Definitely being very wary over there at first base of Ted Williams, who has a lot of speed, the shortstop.
And they'll lay down the bunt. Aldridge will get over to that one and field it. They'll get it over to first in time, so he'll be out at first, but sacrifices himself to get the runner over to second.
Yeah, that's a great second run right there by Calorie. It looks like Tupelo Thunder almost took a tumble because he went to field that one. I think he lost his footing a little bit, stumbled back, but still was able to make a good throw to first base.
That'll be Domernick up to the plate for the Copperheads. So we'll have a runner on second with one down after the sac bunt. First pitch. That one's hit high in the air, but it'll go foul out of play.
It's first about Domernick. Grounded out to Kyle Carnahan over there at third base.
1-1 the count now to Domernick. Like we said, Aldridge taking more time when there is at least a runner out on the base paths. Now the 0-1. That one's lying towards left field. That one will get just down fair. That'll bring in a run to score. It will hold Domernick up on second. And that one just barely got inside that white line down the left field line.
Game of feet lands. That one just lands inside. Tough break for the Scouts right there. And another run for the Copperheads. So every time the Scouts have scored in this game, the Copperheads have answered.
Number 5, Jason Sukanik.
Sukanik up to the plate for the Copperheads. First pitch to him. Swung on and missed. He walked in his second at-bat, struck out his first at-bat of the game. Now the 0-1. We'll call it the outside for strike two, quickly 0-2.
After striking 2 of 3 of the side in the bottom of the third inning, Aldridge has struggled but a little here in the bottom of the fourth.
Now the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout from Tupelo Thunder.
And no struggles there for Bennett for the second time in the game. Sukanik goes down, swinging, and up to 4 strikeouts on the year. Now with 11 on the year.
Now Grant Rubel come up to the plate. He had a hit last time up.
He's 2 for 2, both with singles, has scored in this game.
Aldridge will check on Domernick over at second. So now first pitch to Rubel. Little high ball 1. Now the 1-0. Up high again, ball 2. Aldridge getting his sign from Zach Wiley behind the plate. And they'll call time.
Aldridge 1 out away from getting out of this inning without any more danger.
Now the 2-0. One's inside, puts it to 3-0.
Ben has walked 2 batters in this game, in danger of walking his third one here in Rubel. Might be a horrible situation because first base is open, which set up a force out any base.
One's in there for strike 1, puts it to 3-1.
Rubel, a yellow jacket, plays at Georgia Tech in the ACC.
Now the 3-1. That one's in there for a strike as Rubel started to head over to first, thinking that one was ball 4.
Already laid his bat down to rest. Lancey was about 1/4 of the way there before the ump singled the strike. Rubel is flabbergasted.
So full count, 3-2 to Rubel. And 3-2. And that one will be outside, and that'll result in a steal there from Domernick as he advances from second to third.
That breaking ball that time from Aldridge, and easily able to steal third that time was Domernick.
Now batting for the Copperheads, the first baseman from Oakland, number 20.
So now Brenton Pemba up to the plate. He also is 2 for 2 on the day with an RBI double.
Scary situation here for the Scouts. Force outs at second or first. Need one out to get out of this inning.
First pitch from Pemba outside. Might have been a little bit of a pitch out there. So runners on the corners, 2 down, bottom of the 4th. And he's on the move. That one's popped way up in the air. Levi Gilcrease will come in to catch that one for the final out of the 4th inning, but not before the Copperheads add on another run and retake the lead. They now lead 3-2.
So Scouts yet again avoiding danger. I believe that's 5 base runners have been left on throughout the course of this game. 6, Lance correctly, we have 6 base runners left on from the Copperheads.
How's it going, fans? I'm here with
So Copperheads on top, 3-2 after 4 innings of play. So we'll soon be ready to start the top part of the 5th. And Terry, who do we have coming up in the top half of the 5th for your Xenia Scouts?
Coming up for your Xenia Scouts with the 8-9-1 hitter, Zach Wiley. In the 3rd inning, grounded out to shortstop. And then we have Miles Wright, who after working to a full count, grounded out to 3rd on a hard hit ball. And then we're back to the top of the order for the 3rd time of the game. And Levi Gilcrease. Levi is 0 for 2 in this game, back to the 3rd inning. He flew out to center. So it's the same lineup we saw in the 3rd inning. Hopefully we get different results as Zach Brown takes the mound.
So now Brown will be out there to start off his 5th inning of work, and he got into a little bit of a jam last inning. We'll see what we can get this half inning from Brown.
One of the smaller pitchers you see, only at 5'11", is the lefty Brown from Mars Hill University.
And yeah, I forget which pitcher we were talking to. It might have been Will who said that just about all pitchers are like 6'2", 6'3", even at the college level.
Yeah, if you just look at our Xenia Scouts team, I'd say 6'2", 6'3" is the average pitcher size here. Nick Street's a bit of an outlier in that, standing around 6'6".
Yeah, I remember when Nick walked in, he checked in soon after I did, and I think it was John Henshin who said, yeah, you are every bit of 6'6". First pitch to Wiley will clip foul just down the first base line.
Wiley, who didn't get a hit till the series against the Settlers on the year, struggled out the gate, but now has worked back to a .250 average.
The 0-1 to him. In there for strike 2. And Terry, once again, we still have to say R.I.P. to Zach's mustache.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation.
Now the 0-2. In the dirt, that one almost looked like he could have came up and hit him if he really wanted that to, but he'll get out of the way. Makes it 1-2. It still just mystifies me because he said he would only shave if he had a bad game, yet he went 2 for 4. Just don't understand it sometimes, Terry. 1-2 will get outside, evens it up at 2-2.
Zach is one of 2 players from Union University in Jackson, Tennessee, also or the other one.
The 2-2. And he got him looking on that one. I think he realized that one as soon as that one crossed the plate.
You're absolutely right. Lance looks like he was actually walking back to the dugout about as soon as it hit the mitt. He did not need to hear the ump's call. He knew he was sat down.
So Miles Wright will come up to the plate. Grounded out to third on a very hard hit ball his last time up.
Going 0 for 4 Wednesday night. Miles had a good game yesterday with an RBI.
He lays down the bunt, but that will fly back to the screen. It's just like we said, he's usually going up there looking to bunt, and he tried to lay down that first pitch but was unsuccessful.
I think he was a little behind on that laid down bunt attempt because it hit off the top of the bat as it was coming around. That's why it came out with so much velocity back into the netting here at Bob Wren Stadium.
0-1, he'll lay that one down to third again, but that time it will get past Giannini for a base hit. He's going to try and round it and get to second, and he'll be there with plenty of time to spare. So a nice hit there from Miles Wright for his first double of the year.
First extra base hit of the year, so congratulations to Miles. Back in the 30, he had a nice shot over third, but Giannini made a great play to dig it out that time. It was too hot for the hot corner, and Miles shows off that killer speed to get to second base on the double.
So I think he's looking to try and get the belt and keep Spidey in his bag, as now Levi Gilcrease will come up to the plate. First one to him, that'll be flied out towards center. Dobernick will get under that one for the out. Miles will tag up, and he'll be over to third with plenty of time as he shows off his speed to get over to third base with plenty of time to spare on that sac fly from Gilcrease.
A good work by Gilcrease. He was 0 for 2 coming after that one. And that time he'll advance the runner, so he does his job and brings up Lee Solomon, who singled last time and stole second, stole third, and eventually scored.
So now there's a quick meeting between Rubel and Brown out on the mound.
It seems like these teams keep answering each other back. Scoring started off in the bottom of the first with the Copperheads, and the Scouts answer back in the top of second. Answered by the Copperheads in the bottom of the second. Scouts score in the top of the fourth. Answered in the bottom of the fourth by the Copperheads. So Scouts trying to answer that one right back here in the top of the fifth and tie this one up.
As you mentioned, Lee Solomon now coming up to the plate. Had a hit, stole a couple bases, scored a run his last time up. First pitch to him, right down the middle, strike one.
Solomon from Gahanna, Ohio. One of the few Ohio players on this team, went to Columbus Academy High School.
The 0-1. That one will miss for ball number one.
Dad also played at Lipscomb University. That's how they originally recruited him.
And now the 1-1. Take a big hack at that one and misses. Puts the count at 1-2.
Zach Brown, after giving up his fourth hit of the ball game, one strike away from getting out of some danger as Miles Wright is sitting over there on third base on an island.
So 1-2 to Solomon. And now the 1-2 pitch. Way up high. Nice one from Rubel to keep that one from getting over his head. He ends it up at 2-2.
Solomon not the tallest in stature, so you have to be just completely whiffing at that one if you want even a shot at how high that pitch was.
Now the 2-2. Took a big hack at that one and missed for strike three. So they'll strand Miles over there on third after his double for the first hit of that inning. So the Scouts weren't quite able to answer back, and they will still trail 3-2.
And that's got to hurt Miles Wright to get that double. One out, gets sacrificed to third, but unable to come home. And the Scouts still trail by one now going into the bottom of the fifth inning. And you still see blue skies here. And Athens, Ohio from Wren Stadium. You see not only student housing in the background, but the beautiful Athens scenery. A lot of woods in the area. Hockey Hills not too far off from here. And just a lovely place to catch a ball game.
Now Ben Aldridge will be back out there for another inning of work. His best inning so far was the third inning, where he was able to get him to go down 1-2-3. Struggled a little bit in each of the other innings. So now it'll be the bottom half of the fifth, and Terry, who do we have coming up for the Copperheads?
Coming up for the Copperheads is the 4, 5, 6 batters. Tony Giannini flew out to first base last time. Tyler Pagano, the right fielder who struck out. And Chris Austin, the designated hitter, who was also 0 for 2. And he struck out last inning as well.
So now Giannini up to the plate. First pitch to him. A little low, ball number one. Giannini walked his first time up. 0-1 misses outside, puts it to 2-0.
Ben does have 3 walks in the game, so he's going to have to watch that control a little bit, and this at bat to Giannini.
2-0 the count to Giannini. The 2-0 pitch. And that one will be lined right between Binger and Hogan over there on the right side of the infield for a very well hit ball or a base hit from Giannini.
Giannini's first hit of the game came in batting .440 on the season.
Pagano now up. He struck out his last at-bat, and his first at-bat he hit into a fielder's choice.
Quick update from around the league. The Grand Lake Mariners and their exhibition against the Summit County Sluggers has been canceled due to the rain of that one at Montgomery Field in Salina, Ohio.
First pitch to Pagano. Upstairs, ball one. Giannini gets his lead over at first, the 1-0. Took a hack at that one and missed, evens it up at 1-1.
Ben Eldridge came into this game with a little over 7 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits on the year, has 8 given up through 4 innings.
So now the 1-1. Swung on and missed, puts it to 1-2. Almost feels like there's a little bit of a spotlight on us as the lights in the press box turn on. Now the 1-2. Just got a piece of that one. We'll do it again at 1-2.
Remember, we'll have a community event, the AIA Sports Complex, on July 2nd. 3-on-3 basketball scavenger house and Despicable Me 2. So come down and Xenia to support the Scouts.
1-2 in the dirt. Wiley will keep that one in front of him. He'll even the count at 2-2. Now the 2-2. Check the swing, but it's in there for another strikeout for Ben Aldridge.
Strikeout number 5 in the contest. And the second strikeout in a row for Pagano.
So 2 below Thunder will get another strikeout. Now Chris Osborne, the designated hitter, will be coming up to the plate. He struck out in his last at-bat.
That sets up an any double play ball. That's how the Scouts won the game yesterday.
First pitch to him. That one's popped up, but it'll fly back out of play. And now the 0-1. Up high, ball 1. And like we've mentioned, Ben taking much more time up on the mound when there's at least a runner on. Now the 1-1. That one's popped out of play as well, so it puts the count at 1-2.
I don't know much about the speed of Tony Giannini over there on first base, but Ben Aldridge is going to be very careful of the only runner on the bags.
He'll check on Giannini over at first. He'll be in there safely on the diving back. So Aldridge or nothing else keeping him close over at first. Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed for another strikeout. His second strikeout in a row, both for Ben and for Osborne.
So just like we saw in the third inning, back-to-back strikes out for the tandem, Pagano and Osborne, and that's going to send up Ted Williams, who's 1 for 2 in this game. He bunted on last time. He's also doubled home David Dobrnik.
Now Williams will be up to the plate. First pitch to him. Just gets the outside corner for strike 1. Giannini still over there at first on the 0-1. That one's popped out of play. Puts it to 0-2.
Ben now up to 89 pitches.
1-2 the count, and the 0-2 pitch. Got him looking, so Ben will strike out the side after allowing Giannini to get on with a base hit, so another strikeout for Tupelo Thunder. He's feeling it right now.
And now he has 7 strikeouts. That ties the single game record for the season that was set by John Crawford yesterday at 7. Brings Ben's total to the year 12. He actually brings it to 14, so 14 on the strikeouts for Ben Aldridge.
Now Zach Brown will be back up there for another inning of work for the Copperheads. He struggled in the 4th inning, but was able to get back on track in the 5th inning after allowing Miles Wright to get on with the double. Then after a sac fly from Gilcrease, was able to strike out Solomon to end that inning. So now Terry, who will we have coming up for the Scouts?
The third baseman, Kyle Carnahan from Washburn, is over 2. We'll start off the inning. Then we have Clark Kent, that'd be David Gaunt from Washburn University, who is 2 for 2 in this game with a couple of RBIs. And then Wyatt Hogan, who is 0 for 1. He got a walk last time he was up. He's from Hendricks College in Arkansas.
See what you did there with the Clark Kent reference, by the way, Terry.
I was going to say what university he was from, but I couldn't remember the planet. Let's see where man is from. Krypton. We have to redo that statement. From Krypton University, David Gaunt. I don't regret that one forever, Lance. Langton, where Superman is from.
That's a sad moment for you, Terry.
It is.
I hope you think about that for the rest of the day. Now Kyle Carnahan will be up to the plate. Like you mentioned, 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch to him is fouled right back at the Scouts' dugout, but they were able to get out of the way of that one.
Or sore shoulder and all. Get out of the way on that one as it was looking to come at him beaming high. So a little dodge and weave in the dugout for the Scouts.
The 0-1 to Carnahan. That one's hit high towards center field. We'll see if that one has enough on it. And caught at the wall on that one. A great play from Dobrnik. That one could have been trouble, and he reached his glove up and caught that one, and if nothing else, saved him from extra base hits.
You got to feel for Kyle Carnahan. I think at every single other ballpark in this league, that one's out here. 405 to straight center. That was probably around 400 right when that one was caught. And that's just going to go down as another out. But man, Carnahan really put a charge into that one.
And Gaunt will try to lay down a bunt, but hits it one foul. And you know, I don't know if you even realized this when you said it, but Clark Kent was raised in Kansas.
He was raised in Kansas.
Where is David from? He's from Kansas.
Good point. Should have said Smallville.
You could have gotten away with that.
Could have.
But you didn't.
And missed opportunities. I'll do better next time.
So now the 0-1 to Gaunt. Thought about that one, didn't pull the trigger in time. Puts it to 0-2. Now the 0-2. Just a bit outside on that one. Good eye from Gaunt. Puts it to 1-2.
That's a good frame job by Rubel. Stepped over to the outside a little bit as soon as he kind of moved it back in. Made it look like it hit the outside corner.
Now the 1-2. Got a piece of that one. That one will drop harmlessly foul down the first baseline, so we'll do it again at 1-2.
I thought that one would stay straight, just get inside that first baseline or right field, but a curved foul at the very end. So unfortunate break on the ball from David Gaunt.
Now the 1-2. Takes that one high, evens it up at 2-2.
So good about it again here for David Gaunt, working at 2-2. As he did the last time he was up.
That's absolutely right, Terry. And now the 2-2. He'll line that one back up the middle for, what do you know, another base hit from Gaunt. That'll be his third of the game. So we'll have 3 hits in 2 straight games.
Yep, you said it yesterday. He was excited about breaking the curse of only getting 2 hits in the game. Finally broke through and got 3. And now he does it for 2 straight games. So David Gaunt has been perfect so far today at the plate. No other way to describe it.
And now Zach Brown will get a different ball up there on the mound. There's a little bit of action in the Scouts' pen. Can't quite tell who it is right now.
Looks like we have Thomas Wanning warming up in the pen.
They'll check on Gaunt over at first, and they got him. So Gaunt will be picked off over at first.
He can't believe it. First base coach Dave Nah is going to send him back to the dugout, but David Gaunt cannot believe that call.
So now 2 down here as Wyatt Hogan comes to the plate. First pitch to him upstairs for ball 1. Now the 1-0. And Hogan will line that one right at Ted Williams over at short for the 3rd out of the inning. He hit that one hard, just happened to hit it right at the shortstop.
Yeah, that was on a rope, and on a rope headed right to the glove of Ted Williams. So after that single from Gaunt, he gets thrown out at first, and then a line out by Wyatt. The Scouts yet again putting up a 0 on the scoreboard.
And I think on that one, Dave tried to kind of just nonchalantly get back over to first instead of maybe diving like he should. And when you don't slide on close plays, umpire usually tends to go in favor of the fielders.
Yeah, I was checking out who was in the bullpen, so I didn't see it clearly, Lance, but unfortunate result for the Scouts.
So now, after the top half of the 6th inning, Scouts still trail 3-2 to Southern Ohio Copperheads here from Ohio University Bob Wren Field. And now it will be Thomas Wanning out on the mound for the Xenia Scouts, coming in relief of Ben Aldridge, who went 5 strong innings.
Yeah, Ben Aldridge went 5 innings, had 3 earned runs, had 7 strikeouts, and 3 walks, and 8 hits. I'll bring up Thomas Wanning. Wanning's our righty from Xavier University. And coming up here on the side, after Connor Callery will start us off, the second baseman from Ohio, David Dobrin, the center fielder from Western Illinois, and Jason Sukanik, the left fielder from Xavier University. So a battle between a few Musketeers we'll see here in the bottom of the 6th inning from Bob Wren Field.
And Thomas Wanning, as you can possibly tell from our webcam, going with the stirrup look. And Miles Wright tried that look a couple games ago, and after it didn't go well, I said, okay, Miles, you went 0 for 4. You can't break out the stirrups again. And needless to say, Thomas Wanning was devastated that another player wasn't bringing out the stirrups.
Wanning has an unorthodox style, bends all the way down before he throws.
First pitch, line down the line, but foul. The 0-1. Just in there for a strike. So 1-2 quickly to Callery. The 0-2. He'll line that one down to Carnahan over at third. We'll get that one over to first in time for out number 1.
A great job by Carnahan there, as Callery does have some speed. He was 1 for 1 in the game with a sack bunt last time before that put out.
Now David Dobrinick will be up to the plate. He doubled in a run in his last at-bat and then stole third on a 3-2 count.
And Dobrinick with an RBI. The 2 other RBIs in this game going to Brett and Pemba, the first baseman.
First pitch to Dobrinick. Down low, ball 1.
Wanting does have 5 walks on the year, came in with a 10.12 ERA in 3 appearances in 5 innings in the 3rd pitch.
The 1-0. In there for strike 1, evens up at 1-1. Now the 1-1 from Wanning. Owens fell back into the Scouts' dugout. They barely avoided getting hit by that one. Luckily, most of the players are out on the field. So now 1-2 to count to Dobrnik. Now the 1-2. Once hit well, but that one will go out of play.
Would have definitely been dangerous if he had it out one. Strained out as it goes about 340 right field, and that one might have got over the wall.
So we'll do it again at 1-2 to Dobrnik. And the 1-2. Just a little bit outside, evens it up at 2-2.
Yeah, try to get Dobrnik swinging at that one, but good eye by David, not chasing.
2-2 the count to David Dobrnik from West Illinois. Now the 2-2. That one hit down the line right at Miles Hogan over at first. He'll take it himself for out number 2 of the inning.
A great job by Wyatt Hogan right there. Getting in front of him, making the stroll to the bag for the putout. So Thomas Wanning has come into this game, and he's gotten out his first 2 batters.
So now his teammate at Xavier, Jason Sukanik, will come up to the plate. Struck out in his first and third at-bat with a walk in between. First base Sukanik will show bunt, but pulls it back, and it'll be a strike anyway. The 0-1. That one's just in there for strike number 2, so quickly 0-2 on Sukanik.
Thomas Wanning, we've seen him have some control problems this year here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So we are right down the plate.
And now the 0-2. That one gets away from him. Luckily, there's no one on base. That'll put the count at 1-2.
Yeah, just as I say that, Lance, he throws in the dirt and hits the backstop. But luckily, like you mentioned, no one on, so nothing wrong doing for Wanning.
1-2 the count to Sukanik. And now the 1-2 pitch. I want to get away from him again, so 2 straight way outside pitches evens it up at 2-2.
Lance, I want to take full blame for those 2 pitches.
I think you have to. It's called the broadcaster's curse, Terry.
Yeah, definitely put a hex on Wanning there, but hopefully he can recover here with that even count.
And now the 2-2. That one's line over to Solomon at shortstop, and he can't corral that one. So Sukanik will be safe on that one.
That's definitely a single for Sukanik.
Catcher from Georgia Tech, number 12, Grant Rubel.
Grant Rubel now will come to the plate. He's 2 for 2 today with a walk. So Wanning, he goes from the stretch anyway, so no change to his style now with the runner on. He's on the move on that one. And a little bit of an errant throw from Wiley, so we'll revolve him getting safe. And he'll be safe at third as he advances. And Christian Minger's down on the ground. We'll see if he's okay. If anything, he might have got his hand stepped on. He's swinging his hand as he gets up.
Hopefully Christian's all right. Austin Orr, some shoulder soreness already.
Now looks like Coach Cates will check on Christian out there.
They won't rule an error on a Wiley on the throw. He was off on it. Could have easily got Sukanik out at second, but a little off.
Now it looks like one of Southern Ohio's trainers will look at it. He appears to be looking at his hand. So maybe they'll see if they can tape it up, as now Looks like Austin Orr may check into the game as he's now playing catch with Gaunt over near the dugout.
Now they will rule an error on Zach Wiley, as they should have. It was an errant throw, and that's going to extend the inning. The stolen base for Sukanik.
So now if they put Austin in, the question is, would they put him at second and keep Solomon at short, or would they move Solomon over to second and keep Austin at short, the position he's played every time he's been in the field?
I would assume they put Austin at short because we've seen Solomon at second base in all of his other appearances, so he can definitely play the position.
So now we're just waiting to see if Christian's okay. He's being checked out in the Copperheads dugout right now. So I think they're just, if nothing else, having Austin warm up if it is a worst case scenario.
And lost in all of this is that the fact that there's a runner on third base right now, Jason Sukanik, who advances on the steal and then on the error. And with Grant Rubel, who is 2 for 2 with a walk in this one at the plate, Thomas Wanning's in a bit of a precarious situation on the mound.
So whenever we do get back to action, the count will be 0-1 with a runner at third. Copperheads up 3-2 in the bottom of the sixth. That's been a little back and forth between both sides as each team has had the lead at one point. Copperheads were able to strike first in the bottom of the first inning. Since then it's been back and forth in the second and the fourth innings to get to where we are now with a 3-2 score.
While we have some time, let's go over the league scoreboard. At the bottom of the seventh inning, the Lake Erie Monarchs are leading the Cincinnati Steam by a score of 4-3. They've come back into that one. Monarchs trying to go for their second win of the season. And it's a bit of a laugher at Foundation Field as the Hamilton Joes at home beating on the Northern Ohio Baseball Club by a score of 9-2. Their game yesterday was a high-scoring affair. The Joes put up 10 runs in that one. The Northern Ohio Baseball Club put up 6. That's all the scores we have around Great Lakes League.
We, of course, thank you for tuning in to our live stream of Xenia Scouts Baseball. If you're just tuning in, there's a little delay in action as on a steal attempt, it appeared Christian Minger got his hand stepped on and is currently being looked at by the Southern Ohio trainers. I'm going to let you know if he's going to return to action as soon as we know.
As Coach Bill Cates comes out of the Copperhead dugout with no Christian. Austin Orr warming up on the side.
And I don't think I saw the umpire take out a card, so I don't think they'd be making any lineup changes just yet. Now they're going to have Wanting throw to stay loose out there with this delay in action.
Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Keep up with the Scouts on XeniaScouts.com. We'll have nightly recaps, including interviews from the player of the game and head coach Bubba Cates after every game. Also, links will be this game in its entirety, as every game that we do, Lance and myself, Terry Lash, gets recorded onto YouTube that you can look at anytime you want in its entirety. Also, remember we have a community event July 2nd, starting at 5 p.m. at the AIA Sports Complex. That will include 3-on-3 basketball, a scavenger hunt, and Despicable Me 2. So come out and meet your Scouts, as Christian Binger looks like he's all right and he gets a ovation from this Copperhead crowd.
He appears to be okay. He's warming up over there at second base, so looks like he's going to stay in the game after looked like what his hand got stepped on the steal attempt, so appears to be okay after a long session in the Copperheads dugout getting checked on. So now we resume action here, bottom of the sixth. Grant Rubel is up to the plate with an 0-1 count after Sukanik stole second and advanced to third on the errant throw from catcher Zach Wiley. The 0-1 in the dirt evens up at 1-1. Now the 1-1. That one will be lined over to Carnahan at third. And he gets that over to Hogan in time for the final out. So no damage done after a long injury time out. Copperhead still on top 3-2 after 6 innings of play.
That was a nice play by Wyatt Hogan over at first base because he had to dig that one backhand out of the ground. Throw for Carnahan was a little low, so Wyatt made a look for the team, but it was anything but. And that will end the inning. So the Scouts have 9 outs to work with to try to come back with this 1-run deficit.
So the Scouts getting ready once again.
Looks like we'll have a pitching change for the Copperheads. So Brown goes 6 innings. Gives up a couple of runs on 5 hits. And he's finished with 4 strikeouts. So a good game by Zach Brown. New pitcher for the Copperheads will be Greg Jakiewicz.
Nice, great, good job, guys. Thanks again to our contestants and their participation in the ambassador. Make sure to visit them.
Jakiewicz, a big height differential from Zach Brown. He stands at 6'3". Also a lefty, though. He also goes to Xavier University. So on the mound right now, 2 players from Xavier. One from the Scouts and one from the Copperheads.
So as the new pitcher gets ready and warmed up for the Copperheads, Terry, who do the Scouts have coming up to the plate in this half of the 7th inning?
Take on Greg Jakiewicz will be Jonathan Bravo. He is 0 for 2 this game. Flew out to the pitcher last time. And Christian Bigger, he's 0 for 2. He had a fielder's got on with fielder's choice. And Zach Wiley, who's also 0 for 2, and he struck out looking last time.
So Jakiewicz will be warming up for the Copperheads. Like you mentioned, a lefty from Xavier. His hometown is Delaware, Ohio, which is a little north of Columbus.
He's had 2 appearances for the Copperheads this season, 4 innings pitched. He's given up a couple of hits, no earned runs, and 8 strikeouts. He also has a couple of wins. So Greg Jakiewicz has been dynamite in relief this year for the Copperheads.
Looks like we have Seth Hallmark warming up in the Scouts bullpen. We'll see if Coach Bubba Cates will go to him next inning.
We saw Hallmark warming up yesterday. Joe Chasen was on the mound in the 9th inning. They never had to go to him. So Hallmark's one appearance this year was a start against the Lima Locos. Got a little bit of trouble in that one as he gave up 5 earned runs when he was taken out after 2 1/3 innings pitched. Again, also against the Lima Locos, and Lima was the only loss of the year for the Scouts. They lost that one 15-7, down 3-2 here.
First pitch to Bravo. He'll show bunt, pulls it back, but it's a strike anyway. In his last appearance, he popped into an infield fly and struck out in his first at-bat, the 0-1. Just a tad low, evens it up at 1-1.
We've seen the Scouts have comeback ability. They won that game against the Locos after being down by 2 in the 9th.
One popped up out of play. Puts the count at 1-2. 1-2 the count on Bravo. And now the 1-2. Just outside, evens it up once again at 2-2.
Jonathan from Texas Wesleyan University, bet about 270 this year.
And now the 2-2. We'll pop that one up. The catcher will not get to that one in time as it stays in play. So we'll do it again at 2-2.
Christian Binger on deck over there had to get out of the way as he was getting charged at by both Rubel and Impemba, the first baseman.
Now the 2-2 pitch to Bravo. That one will be flown out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Might have hit the van's windshield on that one. It's hit right towards the parking lot.
Now the 2-2. Low and in the dirt. It's a count at 3-2, a full count.
So good work from Bravo, being patient, fouling off a few pitches, staying alive, working the count full.
3-2. And that one is lined down the line. Fair. Go around first. He'll head for second. He'll be to second with time to spare as it was just recently picked up by the left fielder. Sukanik had a little bit of trouble with that one out and left as the one bounced off the wall and had trouble picking that one up. So nice double there from Bravo.
Yeah, it's his first hit of the game now, 1 for 3. Came in with a 3.13 average, one of the best on the team. Good hit right there by Johnson to start off this 7th inning.
Now Christian Binger up to the plate. Into a fielder's choices last time up, flew out before that.
Gotta be thinking the left-handed hitter's thinking sack bunt here. Lance trying to hit it down the first base line to move Bravo from second to third.
First pitch to Binger. Low and in the dirt, ball 1, so didn't see the bunt on that one. Doesn't mean it's out of play, though.
Coach Case does like to use a lot of small ball. So let's see if he does the same methodology here.
The 1-0. Binger looks at that one as it crosses the plate for strike 1, evens it up at 1-1.
Or maybe I'm completely wrong, Lance, and Christian Binger's going to swing away.
Bravo over there on second. 1-1 count to Binger. The pitch. Thought about that one, checked it in time for ball 2.
Binger has 6 walks on the year to lead the team, a very patient hitter.
And they'll check on Bravo over at second.
Bravo does have some wheels, definitely a guy you want over there on second base to be the tying run.
The 2-1. Binger lines that one over to second. Keller goes over to first for the out, and that will advance Bravo over to third with just 1 down now.
So Binger does not get on, but does advance the runner and does his job just as much as the sacrifice bunt would have. Now Zach Wiley coming out to the plate just needs to put it into deep outfield territory and will most likely sack fly Bravo in. So he's going to try to get under this one with a lot of power.
So Bravo over on third, Wiley at the plate. First pitch to him. In there for strike 1. Now the 0-1. Took a hack at that one, fouled it back, so quickly 0-2 on Zach Wiley, the catcher.
Wiley went down looking last time. Expect him to be swinging away here to avoid the same fate.
And now the 0-2. Upstairs, a waste pitch there, puts it to 1-2. One, 2 to Wiley. 1 down here. Top of the 7th. Bravo over on third base. The 1-2. One's up high again. Evens it up at 2-2.
Now Jackie was trying to get that breaking ball to curve in there, but just didn't have any movement to it. Miles Wright on deck. He doubled last time up.
Now the 2-2. Up high once again. Puts it to 3-2, a full count to Wiley.
Wiley quickly went down 0-2, but watches 3 straight pitches go high. It's a little more interesting here.
The 3-2. Fouls that one back. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Yeah, nice cut by Wiley there. A little behind on it. But if he gets the bear on the bat on that one, it's going to be ripped into the outfield. It's a shortstop and second baseman definitely playing in right here.
Now the 3-2. Fouls that one out of play. Do it once again at 3-2.
So Greg Jekowitz in his first inning of work here, getting a workout from Zach Wiley in this at bat, where he gave up that double to Jonathan Bravo, who was advanced to third by Christian Binger.
And now the 3-2. He'll line that one down to third, exactly what he couldn't do to that one. They'll go over to first and get Wiley out, and they won't be able to advance Bravo.
But what a play by Brenton Pemba. That one was well in the dirt. Caught on the one hopper off of the soil, and that made it look easy, but great play by Pemba because if that one gets past his glove into right field, Bravo scores, ties up the game, and Wiley's probably on second base right now.
So now Miles Wright will be coming up to the plate. He had a double in his last at-bat and was stranded at third. Both times he's hit it right towards the third base line. One time was involved a ground out, the other time was a double. First pitch to him, swung on and hit out of play down the first base line.
So the fan over there made a nice snag. That's a little ovation here from the hometown crowd.
Now the 0-1. And that one's hit to Mpemba over at first. He'll take it himself and get the out at first. So they will strand Bravo at third after his lead-off double. And the Scouts still trail 3-2 after that top half of the seventh.
So one hit given up in first inning of work from Greg Jekowitz from Xavier University. Now the Scouts down to their final 6 outs to try to get back that one run they're behind. Neither team has scored since the 4th inning, where both put on one apiece. Both teams also put one apiece in the second, and the Copperheads started this game off back in the first inning, as it will be Seth Hallmark coming into the game.
So Seth Hallmark will come into the game here in the bottom of the 7th inning, as you hear Take Me Out to the Ball. You can play on the loudspeakers.
So Thomas Wanning goes for 1 inning, gives up 1 hit, no earned runs. So good outing and relief from Thomas.
So Seth Hallmark will come into the game, and in his last appearance, it was a start against the Lima Locos last Saturday, and just didn't have his best stuff, and he got some strikeouts, but allowed too many guys to get on, and that involved a big game from the Locos bats.
Hallmark, the fireball throwing lefty, one of the 4 Texas players on this team, goes to Tarleton State.
So we'll see what we can get from Seth Hallmark today in his first appearance out of the bullpen since the exhibition game against the Spikes out at Mason, Ohio. Hallmark, one of 3 lefty pitchers. The other 2 in the starting rotation, Quentin McGrath and John Crawford, who started off last night's game.
So it's kind of a mystery who's going to start tomorrow against the Steam down in Cincinnati. That game will be at 7:05.
You would think it'd be Dylan, but after the change from Seth to Ben, it's a little up in the air.
We also know that Dylan's arm was hurting him a lot after that last outing. He did a very great job in that victory, and might still be reeling a little bit. We're not sure, so tune in tomorrow at 7:05 to see who will be starting for the Scouts.
So now Seth Hallmark will have his first action of the day, and Terry, who's he going to be facing from the Copperheads?
For the Southern Ohio Copperheads here in the bottom of the 7th will be Brett Mpemba, the first baseman. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. Tony Giannini, the third baseman. He is 1 for 2 with a walk. And Tyler Pagano, who's over 3.
First pitch actually bounces over the plate for ball 1 from Hallmark. The 1-0. One's in the dirt as well, 2-0. It's not a 2-0. That one just misses, makes it 3-0.
And walks were an issue with Seth in that start against the Locos. He had 5 walks. They're 2 1/3 innings pitch. He also had 5 strikeouts, though.
The 3-0 from Hallmark. They'll say that was ball 4. I don't know where that pitch missed.
I don't either. That was right down the middle to me. It seemed like both Zach Wiley, the catcher, and Pemba were just looking at the ump to make a call, and they were just kind of stunned when he said ball. But nonetheless, Hallmark walks his first batter.
So Tony Giannini up to the plate. Got to hit his last time in the batter's box.
He has 1 for 2, came in the game, batting over 400 for the year.
Hallmark will check on Mpemba over at first. He's back there safely.
A couple stolen bases for the Copperheads this game. 1 from Zukanik and 1 from Dobrnik.
Still waiting on the first pitch to Giannini. First one to him. And that one's in there for a strike.
That's the first strike of the game for Seth. It looks like he found his rhythm a little bit at the end of that last at bat. Didn't get those last 2 calls.
We'll check on him once again over at first. He's there in time. Now the 0-1. That one's lined to Carnahan over at third. He'll go to second for 1. And off the base had to go Wyatt Hogan to catch that one, and he'll be safe over at first.
Yeah, it looks like the 5-4-3 was going to be in effect, but a little too high for Wyatt Hogan. I wonder if Lincoln Reed, the 6'3" first baseman, was over there. He might have been able to make the grab with staying on the bag. Nothing of the fault of Wyatt. But unfortunate, nonetheless, that the Scouts couldn't turn 2 there.
It's Tyler Pagano now coming up to the plate for the Copperheads. He struck out his last 2 at-bats. Both of those were against Ben Aldridge. Hallmark went out to check on Giannini over at first. He's back there safely. First pitch is low for ball 1.
Pagano from Oakland University, just like his teammate from Oakland on first base right now, Brent Pemba.
The 1-0. Big swing and a miss on that one from Pagano. He evens it up at 1-1.
And correction, that was Brent Pemba who just got out, so staying on first base was Tony Giannini. He's not from Oakland, he's from Ohio.
And they'll check on Giannini over at first. He's back in safely once again.
Hallmark very wary. Doesn't want to give up any late game steals here.
Now the 1-1. That one's popped up. We'll see if they can get to that one in time. And Hogan will get to that one for the out. It'll be the second out of the inning.
Good hustle from Wyatt right there, running to foul territory to put that one away. Zach Wiley also got out of his catch position, threw off the helmet, and it looked like he might have made a play as well. Good communication between the two. And Wyatt puts that one away. And that will bring up Chris Osborne, the designated hitter, who's 0 for 3 today. He came in the game batting .455, so his average is going to drop dramatically. There's a couple strikeouts in his last 2 at-bats.
Giannini still over there at first. 2 down here. Bottom of the 7th. First pitch is in the dirt. Wiley's not able to block that one. So Giannini will get over to second. He'll round it before Wiley calls time as we can get a new ball.
That one goes a wild pitch. That puts Giannini to second and in scoring position.
Hallmark will come to his set. Looks over at second. And the 1-0. And that one hit him, so hit by a pitch that will allow Osborne to get over to first. So now Love runners on first and second with 2 down.
And that's going to bring up Ted Williams, who's going for 3 today. He has that bunt single, came around to score, but he struck out looking last time to Ben Aldridge back in the bottom of the 5th, and Aldridge struck out 3 Copperheads in a row.
Still 2 down here, bottom of the 7th. Giannini on second, Osborne at first for the Copperheads. Ted Williams now up to the plate. First pitch to him. Way inside for a ball. Hallmark will call time as he wants a quick meeting with Wiley behind the plate.
It's a big spot right here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Got a couple runners on, 1 in scoring position, 4 outs at each base. 2 outs here. The Scouts trying to get out with it. Still down 3-2, so they can't afford to give up any more runs. Looks like there's some activity in the pen. We'll try to figure out who's over there. And it's Lincoln Reed.
The 1-0 will be just a little high. 2-0.
Lincoln Reed did not get the start at first base today, and we've seen him come out of the pen before. That was against the Locos. Looks like they're going to throw him again tonight.
He's on the move on that one. Wiley's going to try and go to second for the out. And he got him at second, so they allowed the guy to get over to third, but they were able to get Osborne trying to extend that one over at second to end the inning.
It's a bit of redemption for Zach Wiley, who has the game's lone error trying to throw out a batter earlier. Could not get to Kanik back in the 6th inning, but in the 7th inning, finishes it off strong as he throws out Chris Osborne, the wannabe Steeler.
So now after 7 total innings of play, Scouts trail the Southern Ohio Copperheads 3-2. And thank you all for tuning into our live stream of Scouts Baseball. I'm Lance Morris alongside Terry Lash as we bring you every game we can of the Scouts. Sometimes we run into technical difficulties, but nonetheless we do our best to bring you our live play-by-play updates right here through the live stream and also on Twitter. Also can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
I appreciate all of those of you interacting with us on Twitter, sending your retweets and favorites and comments. We appreciate all critiques and criticisms that we can get. Also interact with us on Facebook, where we usually post pictures from the games. We also have game recap stories on XeniaScouts.com on a nightly basis. Check out our recently revamped roster and schedule pages. And in those, you can have links to each individual Xenia Scout, what they want both spiritually and physically out of this summer here in Xenia. Now, players from all over this beautiful country came down to Xenia, Ohio, as a group of brothers playing baseball, doing the sport they love for their Savior, Jesus Christ.
Jagnowitz, the pitcher, like we mentioned earlier from Xavier, so I think Thomas Wanning gave a little tip to Levi Gilcrease as he's seen him throw once or twice before. So Gilcrease coming up for the Scouts, and Terry will be coming up after him.
We're back to the top of the line for the 4th time in the game. Levi Gilcrease is over 2 in this one, sacrificed last time. Then Lee Solomon, the shortstop, he's 1 for 3. And Kyle Carnahan, the third baseman, 0 for 3, but just missed that homer last time.
First pitch to Gilcrease low for ball 1. Gilcrease hit a sac fly his last time up that advanced Miles from second to third.
As I said earlier in the game, Levi's brother will be joining the coaching staff in a few days.
Next one upstairs, ball 2, makes it 2-0 to Gilcrease. Gilcrease went 2 for 4 last night and has 2 stolen bases on the season. The 2-0 pitch. That one's fouled out of play, so it puts it to 2-1. It's been 2-1 the count to Gilcrease. Struck out his first time up, the 2-1 pitch. That one will be fouled out of play, so that'll even the count at 2-2.
That's one down by 1 run. They just need that lead base runner on, try to sacrifice him around, get him home. Jonathan Bravo got a leadoff double in the top of the 7th, but was less stranded on 3rd.
2-2 pitch. Swung at that one and missed, but it's in the dirt, so Gilcrease will try and get over to first. And he's just out over at first. He definitely made a play out of that one, as like we mentioned earlier, that usually a routine play over there, but Gilcrease made that one anything but as he tried to beat that one out.
Grant Rubewood definitely took his time behind the plate. I don't think he expected the hustle or speed of Gilcrease, and he almost legged that one out, just couldn't do so. A strikeout for Jackie. What's his first?
Lee Solomon now up to the plate. We'll watch that first one go right down the middle for strike 1. As Rubel, I think, caught that one on the hand. Seems a little shaken up, but appears to be okay. Solomon struck out his last time up, and in his at-bat in the 4th inning, had a hit, stole a couple bases, came around to score a run. Now the 0-1. That one in the dirt. Puts it to 1-1.
Solomon has scored in this game. He stole 2nd and 3rd before being singled home by David Gaunt.
The 1-1. That'll be lined down to Giannini over at 3rd. We'll get that one over to Mpemba in time for out number 2.
Now batting for the Scouts, the third baseman from Washburn, number 16, Kyle Carnahan.
Now Kyle Carnahan will be up to the plate for the Scouts. He's over 3, but just missed hitting a home run earlier in the game, was just a little bit underneath it. First pitch to him. A little low, ball 1.
It's been a rough day for Kyle, but he's got a big spot right here to get some redemption.
And now the 1-0. One just a tad low and inside, puts it to 2-0.
And David Gaunt sitting over there on deck. He's 3 for 3 today. As the Scouts 2 RBIs, including that solo home run.
2-0. Just caught the inside part of the plate for strike 1, puts it to 2-1.
Back in the top of the 6th, Carnahan probably went about 395, 400 to center, and was cut off the warning track by Dobrnik.
The 2-1. And that one hit him, so Carnahan will get hit by a pitch for the 4th time this season, and that will bring David Gaunt, his Washburn teammate, up to the plate.
And 2nd time in 2 games, and unconventional way to get on first, but nevertheless, Kyle Carnahan now represents that tying run.
So that'll bring exactly who the Scouts want up to the plate. David Gaunt, 3 for 3 on the day, 2 singles and a solo home run in the 2nd inning.
Scouts been hit by pitches 8 times, half of them for Kyle Carnahan.
First pitch to Gaunt, up high, ball 1.
And Lance, if you're the Copperheads right now, I think you consider walking David Gaunt, not intentionally, just pitching around him.
We'll see if that's the style the Copperheads want to go with after the first one was upstairs. The 1-0. That one's in there for strike 1, so Doesn't look like they're going to pitch around Gaunt quite yet. We'll see what they do with their next pitches.
In his last bat, Gaunt went down 0-2 quickly before finding his way back before he got that single.
The 1-1. Looks like a pitch out there, puts it to 2-1.
We haven't seen Kyle Carnahan try to steal this year yet.
They'll check on Carnahan over at first. He gets back with plenty of time to spare.
Coach Nichols on the Copperheads got to think they don't want that runner getting scoring position. That's why they're so adamant about Carnahan staying on first, especially with David Gaunt at the plate.
The 2-1. I want to be just above the belt for a ball. Puts it to 3-1 to Gaunt. Now the 3-1. Just in there for a strike as Gaunt thought that one would be ball four. Was just about to toss the bat before he heard the strike call.
Yeah, I think he thought that was a little high. It curved a bit. He just got back in the strike zone apparently, but that's going to make it full.
3-2 count to Dave Gaunt. Kyle Carnahan over at first. 2 down. Top of the 8th inning. Carnahan on the move. The pitch to Gaunt. Swung on and missed. So first time he doesn't get on base today, but it's in a big spot, so Scouts won't be able to add on any runs. And they'll leave Carnahan stranded over at first after that top half of the 8th.
And it'll be Seth Hallmark coming back after the Scouts. So saw Lincoln Reed in the pen the last inning. Maybe they're trying to save him for the 9th. The Scouts are down to their last 3 outs, so they might not even need him if they're unable to score and tie up this game in the top of the 9th. But going to the bottom of the 8th, it is imperative that Seth Hallmark in his second inning of action holds the Copperheads to no runs to just keep it a 1-run deficit here in the 8th inning. It was a scoring bonanza back in Grady's Field as the Scouts put up 6 on the board against the Copperheads yesterday. Not as much luck today, only have 6 hits and 2 runs.
So now we're heading into the bottom of the 8th. Seth Hallmark coming to the plate, and we'll have Lincoln Reed back behind the plate as the new catcher. First time he's seen action behind the plate this season for the Scouts.
So we definitely won't see him in the pen. We'll see him behind the plate. Lincoln Reed, a man of many hats, with that Bermuda Triangle of first, pitcher, and catcher. And actually he'll be replaced right now by David Gaunt. So maybe he was just warming up. Hallmark still got substitutions going all over the place for the Scouts team because it was Lincoln Reed that was warming up with
equipment on.
With equipment on. And then he was just taken out by David Gaunt, who was the DH.
So does that mean they can legally switch him if Gaunt moved from DH to catcher?
I guess so, man.
So that was something we were wondering coming into the year, if they can move guys around like that without having to force the pitcher into the batting lineup. So we'll see if that's the case next half inning.
And if not, that means Seth Hallmark would come to the plate, which would be a lot of fun.
And we did see there was pitcher's BP after the first shutout of the year in the exhibition against the Spikes, and he did hit at least 1 home run. So maybe we'll see. Who knows?
We'll give that information to you folks as soon as we find out, as it unveils in front of our very eyes.
So it'll be Williams up to the plate again after he was up after Osborne was picked off trying to steal. First pitch to him was a ball. Now the 1-0 in there for a strike.
And now Lincoln Reed is going to the pen with Zach Wiley, the previous catcher. So it looks like they will be trying to put him on the mound in the 9th inning if he gets the opportunity.
1-1. Williams checked his swing in time. Makes it count 2-1, and Gotta wonder if that was a decoy move by Coach Cates to have Lincoln go back there to catch with gear on. So that's what threw me off, is that he had full gear on when he went to catch.
Coach Cates put up a mastermind in the Scouts dugout.
2-1, caught the outside corner for a strike, evens it up at 2-2.
The 7th inning of work. Hallmark walked a batter, hit a batter, did not give up any hits.
So now the 2-2. That one bounced over the plate, so that will put the count to 3-2, a full count.
So now we're full. Big spot here for Hallmark, trying to get out the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Scouts still down 3-2. Need to go into the 9th, only down 1.
The 3-2. Way upstairs, so they will walk Williams to lead off this inning. That'll bring Connor Calorie up to the plate.
And only 5'9", Ted Williams, maybe the biggest speedster of this entire Copperheads team.
So we'll have Williams over at first for Calorie, the Ohio product. Grounded out to third in his last at-bat.
Williams actually doesn't have any stolen bases on the year, but I think we have seen his speed and potential. See if he goes first right here.
They'll show bunt, but they'll pull that one back as it was upstairs for ball 1. Another 1-0. Took a whiff at that one and missed, so leaving the count at 1-1.
So Calorie shows bunt first time and swings at the second one. He came into this bat 1 for 2 with a single and a scored run.
Hallmark will check on Williams over there first. He's in there safely.
I believe we might have some more pitching going out to the bullpen. I think that's Joe Chasen going out there.
The 1-1, they'll show bunt. Carnahan tries to get to that one as it was popped way up. It wasn't able to get to that one in time, so it'll drop harmlessly for strike 2.
So a lot of activity in the bullpen for the Scouts, but on the mound still, Seth Hallmark is yet to give up a hit. His pitching inning so far has a runner on first.
So 1-2 the count, now to Calorie. Williams over at first base. I'll check on him again. He'll be in there safely. Hallmark will come to his set. Now the 1-2, he's on the move on that one. And they're going to call strike 3 as that one flied into the outfield. So that'll be a stolen base from Williams, but they did get Calorie to strike out.
So David Gaunt was unaware that the steal was in place for Ted Williams, which is what you and I talked about earlier, Lance, and he does get his first steal of the season, and he airmails that one over the head. Lee Solomon, I think, since he was so late on the throw, caught a little bit off guard, and it's his first inning behind the plate. So likely Levi Gilchrist is there to back him up.
He also looked like he was trying to make sure he framed it to make sure he got the strikeout. So still found a way to get one out, but like we said, Williams gets over to second. First pitch to Dobrnik upstairs for ball 1. Dobrnik grounded out in his last at-bat, had a double and a stolen base in his at-bat before that.
It's like you can't give errors on double plays. You can't scoop it.
1-0 in the dirt, gets away from Gaunt. That'll allow Williams to get over to third as he rounds. He'll head back.
That'll be a pass ball on David Gaunt. He's had a rough inning from behind the plate, and now Ted Williams sitting over there on third base with only one out. So all Dobrnik has to do is head to deep center, and that's going to score a run unless, well, of course, if Gilchrist throws him out, which isn't out of the realm of possibility at this point. You wouldn't expect that to happen, but.
So 2-0 now. The count to Dobrnik. Williams over there at third on the passed ball. The 2-0. That one just misses outside, puts it to 3-0.
I think maybe Hallmark's thinking about walking this batter, pitching around to set up the any double play ball. Second and short are playing in.
3-0. I'll just call the outside corner for strike one, puts it to 3-1 to Dobrnik. So Williams on third, the Scouts infield playing in, trying to keep that run from scoring if the ball is hitting the infield. Now the 3-1. Owen's in there for strike two, so that'll put it to 3-2, a full count.
Good work from Hallmark, working his way back.
3-2 to Dobrnik. Ted Williams over on third. Just one down here, bottom of the eighth. The 3-2. And he'll foul that one off, so we'll stay alive. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Just got a piece of that one with Dobrnik. It looked like Hallmark was going to get his second strikeout in a row.
Once again, 3-2 to Dobrnik. An insurance run over at third for the Copperheads. The 3-2. That one's fouled back towards us. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Big spot right here for the Scouts. Strike right here from Hallmark will make it only one out to end the inning. That'd be absolutely huge as Ted Williams lurks over there on third base. Again, Scouts in action tomorrow in Cincinnati to take on the Steam. That'll be at 7:05.
The 3-2. And he walked from that one way outside the zone, so that'll put runners on first and third with one down.
So the third walk of the day for South Arlington, ending in a third pitch. And that's going to bring up Jason Sukanik, who singled last time, got to third on a stolen base on the air from Zach Wiley. Runners on first and third, any hits given up by Hallmark could be absolutely devastating.
Coach Cates heading out to the mound as Wanning jogs over to the bullpen. He, of course, already done for the day after coming in the sixth inning.
Scouts are set up for a double play ball to end the bottom of the eighth here. That would be the absolute best result they could ever hope for. Maybe Coach Case is trying to coach him up, put him in the proper positions, trying to get just that, a grounder. If Hallmark can deliver one up on a platter, maybe the infield could turn two here. And even as Ted Williams crosses the plate, the Scouts will get off without getting any runs. Still see some action out there in the bullpen. We saw Lincoln Reed, who's still out there throwing. Our view is obstructed to the right of him. We did see Joe Chasen gallop out there. Maybe he's throwing to Lincoln to the left. We can't tell. Chasen has been the predominant closer for this team this year. Has a couple of saves. Lincoln did have one game of work from the pitcher's mound. That was against the Locos back in that 15-7 loss. Then that game, Lincoln did throw 2 innings of one-hit ball. No earned runs. They got a couple of strikeouts.
Now Sukanik up to the plate for the Copperheads. Hallmark will check over at first on Dobrnik, who reached base after walking. So Williams on third, Dobrnik on first. First pitch from Hallmark. In there for strike one. Sukanik had a single his last time up.
That's against his teammate from Xavier, Thomas Wanting, when he was on the mound.
The 0-1. Caught the outside corner for strike 2, so quickly up 0-2 is Seth Hallmark.
That time we got a little bit of a breaking pitch from Hallmark. As David Gaunt kicks away some dirt in front of home plate.
Hallmark will check on Dominic over at first. He's in there safely.
8 strikeouts on the game for the Scouts, 7 from Ben Alders and 1 from Seth Hallmark. That was earlier this inning against Connor Callery.
Now the 0-2 is off on the move, and they'll try and keep him over at third in Williams. They'll allow Dominic to get to second without a throw, but they did get the strikeout on Sukanik, so that'll be 2 down. They weren't able to quite get to strike him out, throw him out, but still 2 down.
That's a smart play by Gaunt, because I think if he goes to second, and plenty of time would be Dominic. He has some wheels over there at first. That's going to third stolen base of the game, and that would have sent Ted Williams home from third to home. So smart play, not buying it. Throwing a third, almost got Williams on third on the pickoff, but that's just going to bring up Grant Rubel, who's 2 for 3 in this game with a walk. Running a couple of singles. Scouts just need one more out to get away cleanly towards the top of the 9th.
Brewers on second and third, 2 down. First pitch to Rubel. In there for strike 1. Like you mentioned, 2 for 3 on the day as Rubel had an infield hit to shorten his first at-bat, then had a base hit in the second inning.
As the blue skies turn to darkness here in Athens, Ohio.
The 0-1. A little high and outside. Evens it up at 1-1.
Thank you for everyone who's stuck with us throughout this broadcast. A great game here between the Copperheads and the Scouts. Scouts came in this one 6-1, Copperheads 4-1.
And now the 1-1. Once fouled back, that'll put the count to 1-2.
So Seth Hallmark is a 1 strike away from getting out of this inning after giving up a couple of walks, a few passed balls, a stolen base here and there. Runners on second and third, both in scoring position, could avoid the danger.
And now the 1-2. Got him looking, strike 3. Hallmark finds a way out of the jam. He strands runners on second and third to end the 8th inning.
So 3 strikeouts there in the bottom of the 8th for Seth Hallmark. And what a performance from Seth from Tarleton State University. He was put in a big spot. Didn't get a lot of help that time from the field as David Gaunt had a pass ball and a bad throw towards second, but he worked his way out of the outs. And he had given up a few walks, and it was just a great performance by Hallmark. If the Scouts are able to put a run or more than a few, we might see a new pitcher going to the 9th. Looks like we might have a new pitcher on the mound here for Copperheads. And that will be Eddie Fitzpatrick, who we saw yesterday. Pitched a couple innings and he looked really good. Eddie's from Brown University. He came on for relief for Jake Rudnick back at Grady's Field, who's a righty, 6'6", a tall presence on the mound. First righty that the Scouts will have seen today. He's coming in the game to try to close it out. So Greg Jacknowitz went 6 innings strong. Gave up a couple of runs, and then, Zach Brown came in 6 innings strong, gave up a couple of runs, and then Greg Jacknowitz replaced him, pitched 2 innings of a 1-hit ball with a couple of strikeouts. And he's going to be set down on the bench after a productive relief effort for Eddie Fitzpatrick.
Now we're heading into the top of the ninth. Scouts trail 3-2 to the Southern Ohio Copperheads, who Scouts beat last night by a score of 6-1. Terry, who do the Scouts have coming to the plate in this top of the ninth?
Scouts have the 5, 6, 7 batters coming up. Wyatt Hogan, who's 0 for 2 with a walk in this contest. Jonathan Bravo is 1 for 3. He doubled to the wall last time, got to third before he strained. And Christian Binger, who's 0 for 3, and he grounded out to second his last time up. And that will be a side for the Scouts, who are trying to get that 1 run to tie the game, but love to get a few more runs, put himself up in a position going in the bottom of the ninth, but they just need that 1. We're going to be sent packing, going back to Xenia with a loss.
So now Wyatt Hogan will lead off this top of the ninth inning for the Scouts. If you're just tuning in, or if you've been listening for a while, thank you for making us a part of your Friday night. Scouts trail 3-2, entering the top of the ninth inning. Wyatt Hogan coming up to the plate. He lined out to shortstop his last time up. First pitch to him. That'll be lined towards second. Calorie will field that one and go over to first in time for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Wyatt goes down with the 4-3. Scouts down to their last 2 batters of the game as Wyatt goes 0 for 4 for a walk in this one.
So now Jonathan Bravo will come up to the plate, and like Terry mentioned, he had a double in his last at-bat. Struck out earlier in the game and hit into an infield fly in the 4th inning. First pitch to Bravo. A little high, ball 1. Again, this is Bravo's first game since Tuesday night, was dealing with a sprained ankle. The 1-0. That one right down the line, but just foul. That one just missed by an inch or 2 down the third base line.
Rough break for Jonathan Bravo there as he was staying on second with a double right now. That was inside of that line.
And now the 1-1. That one misses outside, puts the count at 2-1. Now the 2-1. One just gets the outside corner for strike 2. That'll even it up at 2-2. Two and two, the count to Bravo with Christian Binger sitting on deck. The 2-2. Now pop that one up. And Pemba will get to that one in time for the out. So that'll be 2 down here in the top of the ninth, and Christian Binger represents the last out. And it appears Austin Orr will bat if Christian does get on base in place of Zach Wiley. First pitch. The dirt, ball 1, and of course Christian was the hero on Sunday evening. Had the game-winning 2 RBI single to beat the Locos.
Going to need a little more heroics here if he wants to extend the life of the Scout.
The 1-0. That's strike 1 on the inside corner, evens up at 1-1. Now the 1-1 to Binger. And that's lined towards second base, and it'll get past him. So base hit from Christian Binger will extend this ball game.
Big hit from Christian Binger, his first of the game. That's going to send up Austin Orr, who has missed the last 2 games of shoulder soreness, being put in a big spot here.
And that looked like exactly where Christian hit that ball on Sunday to win the ball game.
Exact same lance.
Austin Orr coming up to the plate. He's been dealing with some shoulder soreness the last couple days. This would be his first at-bat since Tuesday as well. Binger on first, 2 down, top of the 9th. First pitch to Austin. Inside for ball 1.
So Binger representing the tying run over there on first, and Miles Wright on deck.
Now the 1-0 pitch. One just low. Ball 2 puts it to 2-0. Binger with a modest lead over at first. 2-0 to Austin Orr. The pitch. Up high, ball 3. That'll put it to 3-0 to pinch hitter Austin Orr.
Orr would love to take a walk here to the runners on first and second. Definitely got the red light.
Scouts trail by 1 here in the top of the 9th at 3-0. And he'll walk Austin Orr on 4 straight pitches. So now they'll have runners in first and second with Miles Wright coming up to the plate.
Miles Wright being put in a big spot here in the top of the 9th. He's 1 for 3 with a double. Last time he grounded out to first base.
So runners on first and second. 2 down here. Top of the 9th for Miles Wright. Grounded out last time up, hit a double back in the 5th. First pitch to him. In there for a called strike 1. So plenty of speed on the base pass with Austin Orr over at first. Christian Binger over on second. Now the 0-1. Thought about that one, but didn't go around, and Binger will stay at second on that one.
One heck of a stop by Rubel behind the plate because that one was in the dirt. If it slides 5-hole on him, we got runners on second and third.
1-1 the count to Miles Wright. Levi Gilcrease on deck. 2 down here, top of the 9th. Now the 1-1. Outside, 2-1 the count now to Miles Wright.
Miles has been very patient, yet to go around for a swing at this or that. A right fielder from St. Edward's College in Austin, Texas. Miles originally from Houston.
The 2-1. And that one got away from him. That'll advance the runners. Christian will get to third. Austin will get to second. Puts the count at 3-1 to Miles Wright.
Drama, Lance. Runners both in scoring position. 3-1 count here for Miles. First base is open now. I think he's going to be taking here as he tries to draw that walk.
3-1 to Miles on the passed ball there. Christian Binger advances to third. Austin Orr advances to second. Three and 1 the count. Miles Wright, 2 down here. Top of the 9th inning. Scouts trail 3-2. The 3-1. And that's in there for a strike. Miles was about ready to throw his bat and walk over to first. We'll have to try again at 3-2, a full count.
Full count here for Miles Wright. Can ask more pressure in his spot.
Full count, runners in second and third in the pitch. And he swung on that one and hit it out of play to stay alive at 3-2. Three and 2 the count to number 9 hitter Miles Wright. Austin Orr at second, Christian Binger at third. Scouts trail by 1. The 3-2. And he walked him, ball 4. That'll load the bases up for leadoff hitter Levi Gilcrease.
And Lance, I can't even fathom the composure of Miles right in that situation. 3-2 count. You've just fouled off a pitch. Runners on second and third. You were the last out of the game. That one's low and away, and you're not swinging at it. That just takes a lot of poise from the right fielder.
That'll lead to a meeting up on the pitching mound.
That's going to bring up Levi Gilcrease. He's 0 for 3 today. Also sacrificed, struck out, swinging. Start off the top of the 8th inning. Yes. And he couldn't be put in a more pressure-filled spot here. 4 outs everywhere. But Levi, the center fielder from Baylor, can keep the Scouts alive.
Bases loaded, 2 down. Scouts trail 3-2. Top of the 9th inning. Levi Gilcrease at the plate. Struck out in his last at-bat. First pitch to him. And he pops the bunt up, but it'll get out of play. The suicide squeeze play was on, but popped that one away out of play.
Very dangerous play by Gilcrease. Trying to catch him off guard with the suicide squeeze. Luckily for Gilcrease, that one popped out of play.
So 0-1 the count to Gilcrease. Bases loaded, 2 down. The 0-1. He hacked at that one and just got a piece of that one. Puts the count at 0-2.
Gilcrease is going to have to work himself out of a huge jam from Eddie Fitzpatrick. Finger singled or walked, right walked.
The 0-2 pitch. Got him looking, strike 3. Ball game over. Copperheads win by a score of 3-2.
That's a rough way to end it. Scouts rally back to load the bases. And then struck out looking is Levi Gilcrease. Gilcrease's 3rd strikeout of the day. He went 0 for 5 in the contest. It was a great effort from the Scouts. The pitching staff did a great job through 8 innings of pitching. They only gave up 3 runs. All those are credited to Ben Aldridge. But they just couldn't get the bats on the balls today, and only putting 2 runs up on the board. And they're going to fall for the 2nd time this season, this time 3-2 to the Southern Ohio Copperheads. The big game from David Gaunt. David went 3 for 4 in this contest with 2 RBIs, the only 2 runs of the game for the team, and a homer. And he'll be our player of the game. So we'll have David up here in the press box to have an interview with Lance shortly. 2nd run is the player of the game, but a heartbreaker, Lance. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and a strikeout looking to end it.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough way to lose a ball game. You go through all that, get the bases loaded with 2 down, and just wasn't enough. Wasn't meant to be, it seems like, with Levi Gilcrease at the plate. So that'll be his 3rd strikeout of the game. Struck out in both the 8th and the 9th inning.
Yeah, it's not anything you like to see. He came up with that bunt attempt and the first pitch, and I thought it was a little bit of a peculiar call. I think even if he lays it down, it's definitely dangerous with all 4 free bases and home plate being 4 outs. And then after that, he swung and fouled the 2nd one back and down 0-2. I think that he was thinking it was going to be an outside pitch. He was going to try to throw away from him, get him swinging. And he went right down the middle. And Gilcrease's backwards K ends the day here at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio. Scouts go down 3-2.
So it'll just be the 2nd loss on the season for the Scouts. We had an official ending time of 10:09. Today was a 7:29 first pitch, so started a minute early.
About 2.5 hours of beautiful baseball action at a great park here in Athens, Ohio. Looking forward to the next time coming to play the Copperheads. David Gauntz navigating his way to the press box as we speak, being chauffeured by our stat guru, Jeff Connor. Hopefully he finds his way to the press box. But David Gauntz, we mentioned, went 3 for 4, scored both the team's runs, those 2 RBIs, including the big solo shot back in the second inning. David Gauntz now has to deal with a locked door, fighting all the obstacles here. As we do every game that we have our web stream going, we'll have an interview with a player. David is about to take over our spot here. He'll take over for me. And here is our player of the game, David Gauntz.
Get yours again today, Terry? All righty.
All right, so now we have player of the game for second time in a row, third time this season, David Gauntz. So, David, I know heartbreaking loss, but we'll go back to the second inning where you hit a pretty nice pitch. It went about 360 feet with my estimation. So, what happened at that at-bat? What were you looking for up there?
Let's see. Well, I think I lit off the inning, and
You did.
Yep. And you just try to get on with a lefty. I was looking middle away and trying to stay through the ball. That's the way you hit lefties. You're aiming for the right center gap. And I think it was a changeup, so I was a little in front. But you put a good swing on the ball, and sometimes good things happen. So I was fortunate enough to get a good pitch, and I guess it all worked out.
You don't have to be too modest. That's your third home run of the season. Of course, nobody on base. Of course, I'm sure you'd like to get some more RBIs, but you're doing pretty well in that department. I think that went for your in total after your single in the fourth. I think you have 11 or 12 on the year, so you're doing pretty good in that. So let's go right back to that at bat in the fourth. You had a single that scored home run. What was your approach to that at bat?
There's one out, so you're just trying to put a ball in play up the middle or a ball in the air. That's what I was trying to do. Got a little bit of hanging breaking ball there, and just got enough good wood on it and found a hole. That's what happened. If it goes to the shortstop or something, I'd be just as happy. It still gets the run in. That's what we're looking for, trying to tie the game up. So, just looking to do a job up there, and sometimes balls find holes.
And yesterday, you after the game, you so slyly mentioned you were happy you got over the 3-hit mark. You had a couple games with 2 hits, but 2 days in a row you come out of there with 3 hits. So you're seeing the ball pretty well. Is there anything that the pitches are tipping, or are you just putting good swings on balls?
No, I'm just seeing the ball, hitting the ball, focusing on getting that front foot down and having quiet feet and a quiet head, and just letting the hands take over. So haven't been putting myself in good hitters counts, but then I've been getting good pitchers, getting good pitches to hit. So sometimes it's just luck, and sometimes it just takes having a good plan. So right now I've been getting kind of lucky. So we're still working on the approach. I'm still trying to work on that, get it hammered down. But seeing the ball well, I guess. So I'll take it.
And as great a game as you had today, we do have to mention back in the 6th inning, they picked you off. What happened over there?
Oh, man, you got to bring that up, don't you?
Of course, that's my job.
I hadn't seen him move. Lefty over there, hadn't seen him move, and I was kind of looking to get in scoring position, and just got lazy over there, I guess. I thought I got my foot in there. I didn't think the umpire had a very good angle, but I won't tell him that. Yeah, I thought I was in there still, even though I kind of got back late. But yeah, I kind of put a damper on the leadoff single there, so kind of upset with myself on that one.
Yeah, getting picked off will definitely put a damper on your leadoff single. But then later on in the game, they had you come in as a catcher, defensive replacement for Zach. Was there any particular reason behind that, or just to get you some more innings back there?
No, I think Zach's battling a little hand injury there. I hope he can work through it. I'll be praying for him for sure. He's a little sore, and I don't think they want to push it too far early in the season. I think he'll be okay. He's injured that before, That's what he's telling me. So he knows he's got a plan to get back and healthy, and we're just going to trust in God that he'll be back in the field soon.
That's absolutely right, David. I'm sorry that it was after a loss, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, you're third player of the game so far, and hope to see you up here a couple more times.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Lance. Thanks, Terry. All right, guys. Oh, hi, Mom.
As David says hi to his mom, Mrs. Gaunt. Will get Terry back on the headset. So Terry, like we mentioned, Scouts lose today by a 3-2 game. Just a real heartbreaker. No other way to put it.
It was a real heartbreaker. Not just a 3-2 score, but all four guys getting on. Actually, all three guys getting on in that bottom of the ninth inning. Banger leading off after being hitless all game long. Then a couple of walks, really good at bat, especially Miles Wright, who went down quickly 0-2 and then worked his way back to 3-2, found off a couple of pitches, and then finally got the one low and outside, watched it go by, loading the bases in a heartbreaking fashion as they watched that last strike cross the plate for the loss. Tough way to end it, Lance.
It's absolutely right. You get all those guys on, you have the bases loaded with the potential chance to win, and just wasn't in the cards tonight as the Scouts lose for the second time this season. But we will be on the road tomorrow against the Cincinnati Steam, and then they will come back to Grady's Field on Sunday. So tune in. We'll be live about 5 minutes before first pitch against the Steam tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow. God bless.